Hello, everyone. I request all the students to please maintain the decorum of the auditorium because we are going to start in the next 2 to 3 minutes. Please, everyone, maintain the decorum. We are going to start. The guests are going to arrive.
Good morning, students. Good morning, students. See, this event is arranged, organized for you people only. And we expect all of you to maintain silence, please, throughout the event. Please do that. This is the question of the reputation of JSS. That external does not know us. He doesn't know us. So we expect students to give a very good image of JSS, the way it has. Please do that. Maintain silence throughout the event, please. Shall I expect you to be silent once it starts? Yes or no? Please, please. Whoever says no, please go out. Believe me, whoever says no, I am going to come to you. You need to maintain decorum. Stay quiet, please. That's the question of image of JSS. That's what I have told you. You are the stakeholders of JSS, right? So please keep that in mind. Thank you.
Hello. 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 It's working.
All the class coordinators, all the class coordinators are requested to mind the students, please. At the back, class coordinators, please mind the students. Are requested to mind the students, please.
Hello, everyone. We are going to begin in 1 minute. Please maintain the decorum of the MPH. I request all the students to please sit quietly because we are about to begin. Students, I hope I'm audible and clear to you all that you have to remain silent because we are about to begin. All the students on my right hand side, please sit straight and quiet, as well as on the left.
Hello. Good morning, all. Before we start, I would like to request the dignitaries to please be on stage. Sir, I would like to request all the dignitaries to please be on stage. Please have a huge round of applause for Dr. B. Suresh Kumar, Pro Chancellor, JSS University, Noida. Dr. Sanjay Tyagi, Advisor, JSS University, Noida. Dr. Lalit Verma, IAS, Special Officer, JSS University, Noida. Sri Subramanian Sivakumar, Dr. B. Manoj Kumar, Dean Academics, JSS University, Noida. Dr. T.G. Mamata, Registrar, JSS University, Noida. Dr. Arun Kumar Ji, Professor and HOD ECE. Dr. Praveen Poon Terang, TPO, JSS University, Noida. Dr. Amit Kumar Ahuja, Professor, Department of ECE, JSS University, Noida.
We are pleased to inform everyone that the proceedings of today's program are also being live telecast in the university auditorium, enabling a larger audience of students and faculty members to be a part of this session. With the blessings of Jagat Guru Sri Shivratri Deshikendra Mahaswami Ji, a very warm welcome to our esteemed dignitaries, faculty members, distinguished guests, and dear students.
I am Ayushi Kaur.
And I am Kanishka Verma. It is our pleasure to be your hosts for today, Future Readiness Talk, Episode 1.
Today's session focuses on an extremely relevant theme from campus to career, winning in the AI and future skills era. and aims to equip our students with the insights and skills needed to thrive in a rapidly changing professional world.
Before we begin, I would request everyone in the MPH to please maintain the decorum. Students, it's my humble request to each one of you. To begin this auspicious occasion, let us seek the blessings of Lord Ganesha through the Ganesh Vandana. We invite Tej Prakash, third year CSDS student, to present the Ganesh Vandana. Over to you.
ॐ नमो नारायण ॐ नमो नारायण हरि ॐ नमो नारायण मातङ्गवदनायानन्द सदना मातङ्गवदनायानन्द सदना महादेव शिव शम्भो नन्दन महागणपते मङ्गलचरणा महागणपते मङ्गलचरणा मातङ्गवदनायानन्द सदना माय विनाशक मूषिक वाहन माय विनाशक मूषिक वाहन माता महेश्वरी भवानी नंदन महागणपते मङ्गलचरणा महागणपते मङ्गलचरणा मातङ्गवदनायानन्द सदना महादेव शिव शम्भो नन्दन महागणपते मङ्गलचरणा महागणपते मङ्गलचरणा मातङ्गवदनायानन्द सदना
Thank you so much, Tej. A saplings A sapling symbolizes growth, hope, and a promising future. May I request our Honorable Pro Chancellor, Dr. B. Suresh, to kindly present a sapling to our distinguished resource person, Mr. Subramanian Sivakumar. May we have a big round of applause for our speaker. Thank you, sir. We now invite our Honorable Pro Chancellor, Dr. B. Suresh, to address the gathering. Sir, may we request you to kindly deliver the welcome address.
I submit the pranams to the lotus feet of His Holiness Swamiji and extend his blessings and wishes for the success of today's program. Respected chief guest for today, Dr. Sivakumar Subramaniam, my distinguished colleagues from JSS University and JSS family on the dais, Dr. Sanjay Tyagi, Dr. Lalit Verma, Dr. Manoj, the faculty registrar, Dr. Mamta, the faculty, Dr. Praveen, Dr. Ahuja, and Dr. Arun Kumar, and all other faculty in the audience. And last but not the least, my dear students. I think today is a very special day for you. The reason why I am telling it's a special day for you is when you join a program or a course or a career option which you take and move forward, you always look at the end of the program, end of the degree you are going to get, how you are going to shape your career and move forward. Once upon a time, I am talking about 4 or 5 decades ago, you had a degree, you came out, you went to the job, you learned on the job, and then built your career over a period of time, and you are very happy. But today, the times have changed. Even while you are studying, you have to have a very clear career path for you. And not only career path for you, today even the employers or the industry is expecting that as soon as you go into the industry, you should start working from the day one. You should know what you are going to deliver. You are going to meet the industry's targets. You are going to understand the industry's needs and be able to respond it immediately. That's what is the expectation of the world today. The transition from building a career to starting a career straight away has happened in these last 4 or 5 decades. The reason being, the time has moved very fast. Today, everything has to be done in a time-bound manner. There is no enough time available for slowly growing. Every industry, when it gets into an operation, it has to start looking at how it becomes viable in 3 years, then break even by 5 years, start making profits by 7 years, and then continue to keep escalating its profits over the period of years. This is the expectation of any industry. Like some of you might be thinking even of a startup venture somewhere. When you talk of startup venture, you cannot invest your time for next 10 years and telling that I'm still exploring. You would like to, at one point of time, you will say that I should get the money which I have invested first, then start making more money out of it. That's how the thinking process is going. And it is very important that we also learn on the same lines and be ready. Because one is the idealistic pathway, which I told you can go out and look for your career and grow. The other one is the practical pathway, and that is what we are trying to address it today. Idealistic pathway is good if you have the time and resources to wait and grow in your career. But practical pathway is important if you want to move on quickly because of the various compulsions you may have, maybe family compulsions, peer compulsions, professional compulsions. So many things comes to you and you have to move on in the process. That is why today, more than the quality of education, which is important for people to be announced or advertised to get the students. Today we are advertising, many of the institutions advertise, if you join our institution, so-and-so student got so many lakhs of package, so you also will be having an opportunity to get into it. So you all dream that and start joining an institution that, okay, if I do computer science, I'll get this package at the end of the year, degree. Or if I join this stream, I'll get this package. Everyone thinks about the package even before you start looking at what comes out to you. There is nothing wrong on that, because I always say you should have a goal in front of you. You should have a goal that this is what I would like to achieve in 5 years, I would like to achieve in 10 years, and be able to work towards that. Nothing wrong in having that goal. But if that type of approach is required, then you have to prepare also for that. How do I achieve that path? This is what a plan, or many institutions call it as a strategic plan for growth, or even individuals can have a plan for themselves to grow that. And for growing that level side, you need to have the right path to take forward. How many of you use GPS for coming to university and going back, or to your home? How many of you use GPS in the audience? Almost everyone? Right. So if all of you are using GPS, suppose if you take a wrong turn, what does the GPS tell you? It tells you you have to reroute and then move forward to the another direction. It tells you to go forward in a particular direction. So same way, you may make a plan, but that plan may not go the way you are going. So you don't stop your journey and go away. You have to only reroute, reconnect, and keep moving towards your destination. I think this is what Dr. Sivakumar Subramaniam is going to train you today all about. Dr. Sivakumar Subramaniam has bringing with him almost nearly 30 years of his personal experience. He is a renowned, what you call as a trainer. He has trained lakhs of students across various universities, and even charted the paths of such universities towards guiding towards guiding students to their successful career paths. So I had the pleasure of meeting Dr. Sivakumar Subramaniam at one of our meetings at the corporate or the board level meeting at JSS. Through a common friend, we got introduced, and I invited him and told him, why don't you give us insight into how the future jobs are going to be and how the institutions have to be prepared. We had about 35 to 40 minutes of interaction, and I was very impressed. And then I told him, I will need you in wherever I go, wherever institution I am going to be associated with. I want you to be with me and help me train our future generation, that they can look this path which you have trained so many other people. Why not our students also benefit from the training? And I requested him here again. He is a very busy person. How much ever money you can give him, you cannot get him his time or this. Just because of pure affection, he has accepted it. And his affection is particularly because of our Swamiji. He is a very spiritual oriented person. Even today, he is fasting because there is some special day today and he is fasting, but he has come here to deliver this talk, and he is a very spiritual person. And he was impressed by the spiritual background of our institution. He said that an organization which is spiritual and guiding and steering the students, I can't say no at any time. And he gave me that open check or blank check to me. Whenever you call for JSS institutions, I will always be there to come and give my thoughts there. So I thank you and also welcome you, Dr. Sivakumar Subramaniam, for this day's session. I welcome also all my other distinguished colleagues from the university here and also in the audience, and I welcome all of you here. Before I complete, I would like to tell you here one very important thing. In the next 2 hours to 3 hours, you are going to hear from Dr. Sivakumar Subramanian so many things. He will talk to you about how placement is taking place in industry. Hello? Yeah. So he is going to tell you what are the expectations of the industry, when they are looking at the this recruitment process. Before I tell what he is going to tell, I will tell you my own experience. Just 2 days ago, I was interviewing faculty for computer science department at Mysore for our institution. And when I was interviewing, about 7, 8 young people were there. They have done their BTech, MTech. And I asked the same question to all of them. Please introduce yourself. So they all started the same language. I thank the panel for inviting me and giving this opportunity to speak. I am so and so. And they all, the same language they spoke. I understood that they all have gone to GPT, and they have asked that I am going for interview. How should I respond to the interview and what questions can come? So all have asked the same question, and the GPT, which knows who are the people, from which location you are there, and which organization you are going, who are the panel, it can easily find out where. If you say I am going for interview at JSS, it knows the panel, and it has given the same answer to everyone. And everyone is telling the same thing. So GPT can help you prepare, but where is the difference you are going to provide? What is your story you are going to share in that interview? That is more important. There are two people, perhaps you are sitting in the audience there outside, waiting for the interview or the selection committee to come and look at you. There'll be, so you may have the same degree from the same institution, perhaps even the same CGPA, because you sat next to each other in the examination. And with that, you are sitting there. And one person goes inside and he says, what have you done? So he repeats like a parrot, I have got this thing, I have done this, I got this certification, I have done this course also, I have done that course also. He repeats it. This is the full resume what he has written using ChatGPT. He repeats there to the audience, which they know, I mean to the panelists, they know that. The other person goes, they ask him, okay, what are you? He said, I have studied, yes, but I had one problem in my institution when I was studying. They were struggling to handle the, say, mess feedback system for the institution. So me and two of my friends got together and we prepared an app which helped us to get the feedback and gave it to the institution, and thereby I improved. But first time when I made it, failed. I could not succeed. But when I did with my other friends, second or third time, it became very successful, and this app is now being used regularly in my institution. If you say this, you imagine who will get selected, the first one or the second one? It will be obviously the other student, because more than the degree, more than the thing, he has tried to understand a problem in an organization, try to work for solving that problem, and then try to see how he can be able to tell the organized company where he's going for interview that I will look at whatever work you give to me in the manner in which that I can be able to understand that and solve your problem also. So that is what he is trying to convey, and automatically it will happen. So there will be many such examples which Dr. Sivakumar is going to share with you. And he will also be able to tell you like how has been his approach in training the students also to become successful. Not only about what to look at the interviews and what will be the expectation, what are the future type of jobs, because for those who are in the third year, by the time you graduate and go to the fourth year outside, the jobs which you are preparing for may not exist. There will be new type of jobs. So how are you going to be prepared? Today, the technology is advancing so fast. You should be prepared to see what is going to come ahead also and be prepared. So he is going to talk to you about what the future is all about and how you have to be prepared even for that. And he will also be able to guide you that how through certain processes we can train you, not through ChatGPT mode or not through just the same training mode for everyone. Everyone is special. Every individual is different. And the individual should bring out what are his strengths and capabilities. That's what he is going to tell and help you to move from one level to the next and to the third level. Can the same institution where the panel is interviewing, say, 50 students for a thing, and one candidate goes to the highest package of the institution or 2 students or 5 students go to the highest package of the institution. Can all move to that highest package? So if you all have to move to that highest package, what type of strengths, what type of training, and what type of expectations are you from you? So these are the steps he is going to explain to you. And we are looking forward to work closely with Dr. Sivakumar, not just for this lecture and he goes away. We are going to look beyond that also in realizing your dreams and our dreams to make JSS University Noida to be the most dependable university for the people if they want to shape their careers. So I will stop here and I will once again greet you and welcome all of you, welcome the dignitaries here and seek the blessings of His Holiness for the success of this program and your futures. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your inspiring words. We now invite Dr. Kalika Singh to introduce our distinguished resource person, Mr. Subramanian Sivakumar. Ma'am, over to you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Kalika Singh from the Department of English, and it is my pleasure to welcome you all to this special session of Future Readiness Talks from Campus to Career, winning in the AI and future skills era. The future belongs to those who are ready to learn, ready to adapt, and ready to lead. And when we speak of being ready for the future, it is inspiring to learn from someone who has not only witnessed technological change but has also been actively shaping it. Today, we have with us a visionary leader, serial entrepreneur, innovation enthusiast, technology advisor, mentor, and a passionate advocate of nurturing young talent, Mr. Subramanian Sivakumar, fondly known as Subbu. With over 27 years of experience in the IT industry, Mr. Sivakumar brings with him a remarkable blend of technological expertise, visionary leadership, cross cultural experience, and a deep commitment to innovation. His professional journey spans Fortune 500 companies and technology startups across more than 15 global geographies, giving him a truly global perspective on technology, leadership, and transformation. Over the years, Mr. Sivakumar has contributed as a technology advisor, software architect, digital transformation specialist, and mentor. His areas of expertise include design and architecture, software estimation, healthcare systems, digital transformation, artificial intelligence, and innovative strategies for building large ecosystems. He has consulted for and mentored professionals associated with some of the world's leading organizations, including Microsoft, Cisco, Intel, HP, Oracle, IBM, Siemens, GE, Accenture, Philips, Cerner, and Amadeus. What makes Mr. Sivakumar's journey particularly inspiring is his passion for mentoring and empowering people. For more than a decade, he has actively mentored nearly 10,000 senior industry professionals, earning recognition as one of the most sought after consultants in the country. One of the significant milestones of his career was leading a team of 150 technology professionals and collaborating with 100 healthcare professionals from Florida, USA to build a large scale healthcare platform. Today, this platform operates across more than 125 locations in the United States and manages healthcare claims worth over 2 billion US dollars. What makes this achievement even more remarkable is the opportunity it created for young Indian engineers. More than 90% of the technology team came from campuses across India, selected from approximately 40,000 candidates assessed by his team. The 6 year journey of building this platform from Florida enabled talented young engineers to work on globally benchmarked solutions and gain exposure to some of the finest practices in the technology industry. Subbu's vision, however, extends far beyond technology and business. He envisions an interconnected world of global innovation hubs where people from diverse cultures, disciplines, and mindsets come together to address both global and hyper local challenges. He strongly believes in the power of young talent to drive breakthrough innovation and aspires to incubate more than 1,000 successful startups. Having built intellectual property leveraging artificial intelligence, extended reality, and blockchain with a stated value exceeding 2.8 billion US dollars, Subbu is now focused on enabling young talent on campuses to create meaningful and high value innovations. At the heart of everything he does is a profound belief in people. Mr. Sivakumar, technology may create possibilities, but it is human potential that creates transformation. And perhaps what makes his personality even more distinctive is the depth of his spiritual journey. An ardent student of Vedanta, Subbu spends time in the company of his spiritual guru, exploring the deeper dimensions of life and discovering truth within, whether along the banks of the Narmada, at his spiritual master's ashram in Kanchipuram, or amidst the mountains of the Himalayas. It is therefore my great pleasure to welcome Mr. Subramanian Sivakumar. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome him on this stage. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. We now request Pro-Chancellor Sir and other dignitaries to felicitate our distinguished resource person, Mr. Subramanian Sivakumar. Please give a huge round of applause for Sir. Thank you, Pro-Chancellor Sir and our esteemed dignitaries. We will now take a few moments to make the necessary arrangements for the keynote session. We request everyone to kindly remain seated. Thank you so much, all the dignitaries, to honor us with your presence.
And now we come to the much awaited keynote session. Our topic today, From Campus to Career, Winning in the AI and Future Skills Era, could not be more timely. We are honored to have with us Mr. Subramanian Sivakumar, who will share his insights on AI, future skills, and preparing for the world of work. Sir, over to you, sir. Please welcome him with a huge round of applause.
I got a moving mic or it's the mic? It's a influence.
Okay, so good morning, all of you. Firstly, I would like to thank Suresh sir for this opportunity. I feel blessed to be associated with JSS Swamiji and the Mutt. So I'll take just 1 minute to start with a small shloka, invoking the blessings of the Guru before we start. ओम ईश्वरो गुरुराप्नेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवत्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः गुरुब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुर्गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुस्साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. So thank you. I'm really honored, privileged to be here. I met so many distinguished people on the podium sitting along with me. I would just like to spend some time with all of you, more than a one-way presentation. I would like to hear your thoughts. So Dr. Ahuja sir has given me a lot of questions that you have. You can use this opportunity to ask me questions. So primarily, I would like to give you some hints on how you can approach your placements and drives happening in the campus. So I'll just start with a very quick introduction. As already it's been spoken, I've spent close to 3 decades working in tech industry. So obviously, this is not about me. My specialization will be more to do with building platforms, ecosystems. Yeah, can I have the slide controller? Do you have a? Or I can give the laptop, I can move it myself. How do you go next? Okay, so somebody will help me with this. So I had 2 dreams because when I started, Java was very popular. My dream was to somehow work with Sun Microsystems, simply because they were number 1. It was an amazing company. So first time I attended an interview at Sun, I failed. And then second time it happened. I had the privilege to work with some of the brightest minds on the planet who built the iPlanet server, the JVM. That was good. My other option was to have a stint with Microsoft, which happened after working for 15 years. I was fortunate to work with the Microsoft team. You know, when Microsoft introduced Office 365, they moved from MS Office into everything went on cloud. So today it's very easy. You have Word on cloud, Excel on cloud. But when they re-architected, I had to work with many engineers, almost 500 engineers. I worked together, mentored them. In fact, entire Excel is written in C++. Previously, it was C++3, the old version. Then they rewrote in C++11. That was a very defining point. Some of the absolute brilliant people I met on the planet was there. So that was very inspirational. And I've also worked with a lot of healthcare technology company. I specialize in health tech. I was fortunate to work with the big 4, GE Healthcare, then Siemens, Philips, and Cerner. Then in 2014, I had an opportunity, if you can go to the next slide, or if you can give the controller, it's easier. Okay, next. So in 2014, this is more relevant than what I've done because I want to do something like this here in JSS. So in 2014, I was nominated to work in a company called HCA. HCA means Hospital Corporation of America. They're the largest hospital chain in the world. So they wanted to build a very large EMR. An EMR means electronic medical record system. It's like an ERP for all the healthcare. So they had a lot of budgets, multi-million dollars to build this. Because this company I was working with, it's very important you understand because we are going to work together and talk about ecosystems today. That will help you definitely to get your placements. Right? So when they called me, they said, Subbu, we have a problem. We were in 30 locations. They got a lot of funding. They got acquired. So they went into 80 locations. So imagine JSS institution, this particular university gets into 80 locations. Then how do you integrate? How do you interact? So many people. So they thought the silver bullet for all the problem is an EMR. So they said, let's build their own EMR. So then I said, they had some $30 million budget. Then I said, sir, maybe you don't have to spend that money. I spend 30K, let me come over there, meet people. At least I can tell you honestly what can be done. So I flew to a place called Spring Hill in Florida. Florida is a very beautiful place, north of Tampa. And I spent 1 week meeting all the senior leaders. And then the main CEO, he came and asked me, so Subbu, how much you understand what we do? And he said, I saw your profile, you've been recommended by GE, you worked with the big four of healthcare. Then I told him, sir, I have absolutely no idea what you guys are doing. So it was actually my interview. Then he said, okay, let's have dinner because there's nothing to talk now. I told him, I don't know what these guys are doing. Then after 2 days, he called me. He said, look, we are going to work together. Then I asked him after 9 months, what made you decide to work with me? He said, one, you were honest. You came all the way. You were not afraid to tell you didn't know what we are doing because I was more a healthcare device guy working on firmware, C++. This is all about operations. And I did not know the US healthcare operations domain. He said, one, you were honest, that helped. But secondly, he told me something very profound. He said, every time a consultant comes, they keep telling us what to do, what to do, what to do. But they've never done it themselves before. I'm running an enterprise. Now here, you don't know anything. So it will take me 2 years to make you learn. Whereas other consultants, it will take me 5 years to make them unlearn. So he chose me not because, if imagine you get chosen not because of what you know, because since you don't know anything, it's easy to become a learner. So the first rule, and in fact, the reason why I'm here is I had an amazing meeting in Mysore a couple of months back with the team, management team, very senior people at JSS. That was my first interaction. I never felt a more open-minded set of leadership. They don't know me. Like me, there are thousands of people who have done work. There's no dearth for people who will come and work with Swamiji. But this team was very open. I had only 30 minutes. We spent an hour and a half. And it was very surprising. They were wanting to listen and learn anything I was telling. That open-mindedness is the most critical thing for change. So you have to have the courage to go in the interview and tell you do not know something when you do not know. But if you come through as a learner, if your open-mindedness is there, absolutely you will find people who will bet on you like somebody bet on me. And they not only bet on me, they gave me a budget of close to 120 crores. I returned back 30 crores because we didn't need to spend so much of money. And over 5 years we built. What we built was one of the largest healthcare ecosystems in US. Imagine you do this in India. You bring all hospitals together, all insurance companies. How many we got? 692 insurance plans, like Lombard, ICS. We have so many. Imagine you bring all the members of the platform. They had 3.8 million, 38 lakh patients they were managing across 150 locations. And they were processing $2 billion of healthcare transactions, which means everything you're doing is you're talking in scale. So the thing you have to learn when you work with these tech companies, especially when you go for premium placements, is scale. They'll eat your head on scale, scale, scale. Because I was talking to Amazon recently. He said, Subbu, we have 100 million transactions per second in only Fire TV, 100 million. So if I write a SQL query, I cannot even run the query. I'll have to come next year because 100 million you have to process. Now, how are you going to run 100 million transactions in under 4 seconds? That is the guy they want to hire. Okay. So first rule is you got to think scale. So this was really big scale. And guess what? The person was leading this myself. You heard a term called GCC, right? Global Capability Center. It's called a GCC. So I had set up a GCC in Bangalore with a team of people in Florida. So the person who was leading, I myself did not know the operations, right? But I had a lot of people who helped me. Can you go to the next slide, please? And the best thing I loved about this project is we had 300 people team. 100 were like Barbara Joy, the lady. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant people. So she really knew what she was doing. 100 medical healthcare professionals. And then I had 50 people in US, senior guys managing data center. But out of the 150 people whom I hired, 125 were like you. Neither I knew healthcare, nor you know healthcare, I assume. Maybe you don't even know technology well enough, but I bet on 125 young minds. For this, okay, thank you. So for this, we actually had to assess 40,000 engineers. My team went around 180 campuses all over the country. We assessed 40,000 to get this 125. One is the relationship was very deep, so we had to really filter people. At the same time, the sad thing is we had to assess 40,000 to get 125. We did not hire freshers because they were cheap. I had enough budgets. I could pay 3 to 3.5 lakhs per engineer per month. So it was not, but why did I do this? I'll tell you the other story. The same thing that Dr. Singh, the person, CEO who interviewed me, it's still not working. Can you please help me with this? Okay, let it be here. So the person who hired me, when I interviewed people, because we had a lot of budgets, I interviewed a lot of senior folks. Again, the same problem. What happens with senior folks? They're all working in the industry, working on somebody's projects, and they're all implementing technology, never thought anything from scratch. So with young minds, the advantage was they could think out of the box. So I'm very keen. I had a good interaction with Ahuja sir. I would love to set up an innovation ecosystem where whether you know something or not does not matter. If you can be creative and think through, maybe we can build the next unicorn from here. So that is the vision. Next slide, please. So the scale was very high. Imagine this was all done pre-ChatGPT. So that means a team of young people like you had to write 2.5 million lines of code from scratch, 25 lakh lines of code, had to manage 4,400 user stories. We had to implement 5,400 tables. You know, imagine designing 10 tables, you know the challenge. 100 tables, 200 tables, 5,000 tables. Now, if I tell you, these young Indian kids we hired were so brilliant, and they were just able to comprehend hundreds of tables in their head. The guys whom I worked with, the CTO of US, he was zapped because these guys could mentally do the math and do the design. So it was really a very defining moment. I feel proud because we also released this in HIMSS in Las Vegas. So it's not like we cannot build products, but if you have the right environment and you got young people, right, we can definitely build products. So I'll be, with this, I will just move into what we have to come here. So next slide, please. So the journey took me to the next question. Okay, we have done all this building of products. Can we do something different? So here, I met a very interesting person. This is a very defining moment. Dr. David Richards. You can make a LinkedIn lookup on him, Dr. Dave Richards. He co-founded the MIT's Innovation Lab in 1993. Can you believe that? In 1993, this person already set up the MIT Innovation Lab at Boston. And today they should be very thankful. All the innovation happening is from him. So working with him, we built 3 large POCs. We spent $1 million. I had a team of 18 people, but they got a valuation of close to $2.8 billion. Audited by Ernst & Young, the data. The fundraise was done by PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers. Valuation was done by Mazars. So these two things impacted a lot. And again, who did this? People from India, my own country, our own team, who did not really have to go to the Bay Area. So with this, I came back for good from US. Now my vision is, can I pick specific talent who are ambitious? Can we trigger innovation on campuses? Obviously, when we build innovation on campuses, premium placement is a result of it. So I would like to share some work we are doing at some universities like SRM, how we are creating premium placements. What do these engineers do and how you have to approach this? Next. Okay, so the mission is very simple. Can we find the best talent? Can we give them hard problems to solve, like the team which cracked the US healthcare problems? Can we build great technology? Can we create IP? Can we say each person is in the campus for at least 4,000 hours in your 4 years? Each hour, can you take 1,000 hours? If I have 1,000 people in the room, that's 1 million hours. Imagine 1 million hours building IP. That should be $1 billion IP. So can we build IP, intellectual property, and then to create startups? In doing all these things, obviously premium placements happen. People normally end up getting their jobs. Okay, thanks. Next. So why am I talking to you? I had this opportunity. I spoke to many universities. One university really got the vision. There's a university called SRM University. You might have heard about them. They're a private university. I work with the Katangalathur campus. So we put together a plan. So actually I went in to pick some talent for one of my projects at Ernst and Young. Then I spoke to the director, like how I spoke to Suresh sir. His name is Dr. Venkata Shastri. They actually bought this in. We put a plan for about 3-4 years. So what we did, I will tell you the kind of things the students did in order to succeed, in order to achieve this. But the results were very good. After the interventions we had, in the previous year, there were 90 people who got 20 lakhs and above CTC. That almost increased by 80%, 166. And we had literally 1,400 people getting into premium placement. So in this university, premium means dream. You're getting 6 to 10 lakhs, 10 to 20 lakhs, 20 lakhs and above. So, and we in fact had given a written document that you will hit 1,200 at least. It slightly exceeded. And then I did a pilot, took about 17 interns. They had not been placed yet. Some of them were very sharp, some of them did not know much. They worked on a project for about 3-4 months, and they all got picked up in marquee companies. So what did I do? Actually, nothing. God has created talent. You identify talent. You enable them to do what they do, they will do everything. If we try to do anything, we come in the way. So that's what we have discovered. Give them the problem statements, inspire them, find people who can do things on their own, and the magic happens. So I'm really keen to have maybe a couple of years from now, this slide being about JSS, where all you people can actually be the champions who can facilitate this. Next. Okay, so today, sir has been kind enough to give me a lot of questions. I'm told that you had over 1,000 questions people had. Some of the questions were extremely exciting. And I got a list of 30 questions. I have spent a lot of time yesterday night, today morning, to prepare so that there is some benefit value for this. We'll look at, if you want to find a job, what are companies looking at? So I will share my own experiences working with these companies, having mentored a few people, so thousands of people in SRM and other places. And also we have analyzed close to 600 companies. Marquee, that means they hire at 20 lakhs and above. Super Dream 10 lakhs and above, and Dream. What are these companies looking for? And then what skills really matter? So you will hear a lot on YouTube, you'll have a lot of ideas, but ground reality, what really companies are doing. Company by company, what skills? Please prepare on that first. Then you look at everything else. So we'll share that. I'll also talk about what kind of internships you should be doing and why smart students still get rejected. It pains me a lot. I have people who won national level hackathons. People have been brilliant running products. They have startups, but they don't clear round one. Why? And what do we do there? And finally, what should you be doing? If I were you, what should I do? Okay, so our whole program will be structured accordingly. And please feel free to interrupt me at any point in time. Definitely, I have not come here to give a lecture. My goal is not that at all. You have to go out with a clear roadmap telling that the next 2 hours, if I do these things, I will be able to get a premium placement for myself. So what should that be? So the more you ask questions, the more useful it's going to be. So I have all the information, but you need to ask me the right questions. Okay? So if you're okay with this, we can start. So this is the agenda. If you want anything else, please let me know as I proceed further. Right. Can I have the next slide deck, please? There's a slide deck titled 2. That's a second slide. You might have to just play that. Okay, so let's come to the ground reality, something that's more relevant for you. So what the market actually demands, and how do we know this? What is the campus hiring reality? We know this because fortunately, we have studied 600 plus companies coming to different campus. We are now researching on another 1400 companies. At the same time, I have been an advisor to KDM in government, sir might know, Karnataka government digital economy mission. We have been fortunate to work with 2,500 startups. What do they need? And Startup Tamil have also been part of Startup India, working with Kritika. So there's a pattern that startups are looking at. Some of them pay very well. Some of them even pay 15 lakhs, 20 lakhs. What are they looking at? So you will see everybody has one single pattern. So my first question to all of you is, what is that one pattern companies are looking at? Anybody can answer. You can be right, you can be wrong, it does not matter. So some of these companies, it could be services like Infi, Wipro, TCS, HCL. It could be FANG companies, it could be MANG companies, Microsoft, Netflix, Amazon, Google, right? Anybody. So what are they all looking at? What is that one pattern? Can somebody answer this? Don't worry if you're right, you're wrong. If you can have some microphones given to people in the audience, that will be helpful. What is that one secret sauce companies are repeatedly looking at when they come to the campus to hire you? Yeah, I would like to have a student volunteering. This is a tough question because you're looking at so many things. Now, your job is to reduce it to one thing. So any student wants to give it a shot. Don't worry which year you are in. Any year is okay. So anybody want to take a shot? Yeah, you want to? Yeah, any volunteers? Maybe I'll start with some girl from here. Maybe somebody sitting there in the first. Can you just give it to the girls there? If you have to choose one thing, we are talking about technology hiring, okay? I'll just clarify. We are not yet going into core. We are talking about technology hiring. What is that one skill companies are looking at when they come for technology hiring? Yes. We'll start with the girls. Don't feel shy. It's okay if you're wrong. You tell your name and which class you're from.
Yes. Good morning, sir. I am Kaushiki from fourth year, IT section. Sir, I feel the ability to learn, as you said, is the key source for it. And since we are in tech, so problem solving, of course.
Very good. One round of applause for her, please. So she says that one skill that companies need is problem solving. Okay, great. Somebody else, somebody from the boys, they're here. Can you hand over the mic to this gentleman, please, here? Somebody from the front. If you agree with her, that's fine. If you have anything else as a viewpoint, I would want to hear from you.
Good morning, sir. This is Abhinav Arya from
What's
fourth
your
year.
name?
Abhinav Arya.
Abhinav, okay.
Yes, sir. Sir, I totally agree with her. And one more thing is like the probability to adapt the environment of the culture of a particular company or a firm. It's like is also a key source for this.
Okay, so she says problem solving. Let's remember this. He says adaptability. Companies are looking at adapting. If JS is hiring somebody, They want to be adapted to JSS culture. It's a culture built over 6 decades. So you want people to be aligned to that culture. Very good adaptability. Somebody from here can answer. Any girl from here? Anybody can volunteer. You can just stand up. We got your name,
Good morning, sir. Myself Agrim from CSE.
Arjun.
Agrim.
Agreem, okay.
Yeah. So I think ownership is also one skill that most of the companies look for it. So like if you are building project, then you have to take the ownership of it and build end-to-end features so that user should feel that okay, this project is actually working and it's solving some problem. That's I think help.
Do you take ownership?
Yeah. I do internship, and in my internship
Can you give me one example where you have demonstrated ownership yourself?
Yeah, so there was one product which is basically a B2B cash flow management system. So I built that end to end, and that product has, like, when it launched, it has a lot of bugs. Like, so I took the ownership on my own, solved the both front and back end, and handled the database migration and also. I think that is very important. You are working in a team.
Fantastic. One round of applause, please. See how beautiful. Problem solving, adaptability, ownership. People also call it as accountability. Today, people are using the term called self-accountability. You don't need to wait to be told. You take accountability on your own, being proactive and accountable. It's called self-accountability or ownership. Very good. Anybody has another point? Anybody from the girls here? One more girl from here, and then we move ahead. Somebody from here? Or anybody there. So, yes, give me 1 point. If you already agree, no need. If you have something else, please don't feel shy, it's okay. Yeah, we have one hand up there, very good. I'm sorry, I'm making you run around with the mics.
Sir, one thing I believe is
Your
that
name, your
whether
name
you
and
can
which,
be
please tell me,
flexible with the changing technology.
please tell your name.
Yeah, my name is Anand Rastogi. I'm final year student from CSE branch.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I believe is that how flexible you are with the changing technologies. Like you can adapt to the new technologies coming in. Like that's it. Yeah.
Okay, I will rephrase it. Ability to learn new technologies, keep
Yes,
in
sir.
pace with new technologies. How you want to embrace new technologies. Okay, good. Great. So we had multiple viewpoints. Now let's look at the common pattern which is there in all the companies. Next slide, please. What do companies actually hire you for? So not what LinkedIn says, not what YouTube says, not what AI influencers say. You have to listen to your madam, TPO. I spoke to her in the morning. Let's see what they say. What do all the tech companies hire you for? What's your round one? Aptitude and?
Resume shortlisting.
Okay, that is your screening. Very good. We call it as L0. L0 is screening. Companies are screening your resume. Today, the problem is you have 3,000 applications coming in for, say, Microsoft. Microsoft's assessment is very detailed. This from one campus, right? Those who qualify in CGP and all those stuff. But they will spend close to 1,200 or even 1,500 rupees per assessment. So 45 lakhs to spend on 3,000 companies no longer want to do. You know what they're telling? Give us 30 CVs. Motark is a company. They hired 1.3 crores. They want 15 CVs, 1.5. And the campus that I'm working with, there are 4,800 interested students. So now companies are telling, don't give me thousands of CVs, give me lesser. They're telling that you should know what your students are. So the problem now is the first round L0, as I said, is all screening out. So they just, because no human being is going to sit and read each CV. Can you do that? Imagine I give you 3,000 CVs. It will take you 1 month. So what they do, they put this in an ATS. You know what's an ATS? Anybody knows what's an ATS? Full form of ATS, applicant tracking system. So they'll upload, take this zip file or 3000 CVs. The ATS will scan. It will look at what all your details. And then it throws up. Is the ATS right? Of course not. Because I can use ChatGPT and say, like somebody was saying, make my CV look like Sundar Pichai. It will make me look like Sundar Pichai. But when I go to the interview, I'll fail. But unfortunately, companies have no option but to go through an ATS. They get screened out, right? So that's your screening. So what's your first round? On the campus, what are companies coming for? What's your round one? Somebody said aptitude. What else? What are companies looking at? They give you some coding problems. Am I right? They give you some coding problems. You have to code, write code. What is round two? Advanced coding in the form of DSA. What is round three? More advanced coding in the form of DSA. Then what do? They do a technical round. But now the challenge is I have to clear round one, which is coding. Round two, which is coding. If I go for a marquee company, round three, hackathon coding. Round four, system design implementation coding. Now they're all eating your head on coding, 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 coding. So the reality is, what is that pattern we saw across all companies? When I say all, I'll tell you how many this all is. They want people to have coding skills. Am I right about this? Is anybody telling in round one, you demonstrate, see all the beautiful things, problem solving. Say, yeah, problem solving through coding. Flexibility to learn technology. So now telling all that is later. What are we hiring people for? Coding. Now what is a problem challenge here? We will see that. So let's move to the next slide. So 600 plus companies, one pattern. This is from all the IT services companies, the volume recruiting companies, mass recruiters. In fact, if you look at Hack with Infi now, they hire people at different packages. It's 9, 11, 15, 21. This Hack with Infi is one of the toughest assessments ever to crack. It's almost close to impossible. I don't think Infi guys themselves will be able to crack this. It's a very difficult thing. So now they are upping the ante. Everybody is upping the ante. So what is that one single thing companies are looking at? Whether you're getting hired at 3.5 lakh salary or 35 lakhs, 60 lakhs, it doesn't matter. Coding. Now, it might sound a little difficult for some people. It might sound easy for some people, but it's an inescapable reality. Please do not cheat yourself by listening to anything else. Talk to your TPO. She will tell you what companies are looking for. They look at coding as a round, right? Let's see how to handle this, how to address this. But this is a ground reality. You don't need to watch any YouTube videos. You talk to your TPO, ask them what is round one of Infi coding, round one of Microsoft coding, OA, round one of MEFG coding, Morgan Stanley coding, right? JP Morgan coding, Flipkart codings. Everybody's only doing that. So you got to be ready for that. Okay. Now let's go ahead. Next slide, please. So now remember, we saw that when we analyzed the 600 plus companies, we saw a 70-20-10 rule. What is this 70-20-10? I can stand corrected here as I'm standing. I'm talking about experiences with multiple universities, multiple companies. Maybe in JSS, the percentage can vary. However, 70% of your hiring happens for SDE role. You know what's SDE? Software Development Engineer, or what people used to call it as programmer or a software engineer. Then 20% moves into data roles. People want data engineering, people want data analytics, BI, etc. 10% goes into business analyst, cybersecurity, etc. So now this rule is 70-20-10. However, in reality, cybersecurity jobs only 10%? Absolutely not. Without cybersecurity, we cannot manage at all. But what they do, they prefer senior people because cybersecurity has a lot of challenges. You need to know the infrastructure, environment well. People are not wanting to trust younger engineers. So the market has a lot of opportunities, but people who hire junior engineers are still going into software development roles. Okay, so I hope you're all okay with this. If you have any other viewpoint that in your university is different, please let me know, right? But I'm talking with specific facts and proper research with authenticity. This 70-20-10 is what is happening. Let's go ahead. Next. So now what happens? I have been doing cloud engineering. I even have people with an AWS certificate. They fall in the 10% bracket. Cyber security engineer, 10% bracket. DevOps engineer, 10% bracket. Blockchain developer, they come into the 10%. AI engineer, slightly better, they come in the 30% bracket. But the companies are still not changing. So when you go, companies say, use tools. In my own company, we are building a lot of platforms. I have some very, very, very smart guys. But I'm not, because they're smart, I'm not going to make them write code. Handwritten means it will go back to US. I took 5 years to build that. Today, nobody has 5 years. In 5 years, we don't know what the world will be like. So today we had to build a product 6 months. So we are heavy users of all the tools that you can think of. And I know that my team is using AI native engineering, AI assisted coding. But still, we hire brilliant developers, coders, who can start using this. So the reality is, in companies, when I go, you can absolutely survive without ever having to write a data structure. I worked for 25 years. I worked with some of the best companies in the planet. You remember, I have never, ever, ever written a single data structure in my life. I've used hash maps, trees, lists, all readily available in the languages. But still, if I today go back to the interview, all my experience, nothing. Can you do DSA with GraphDB? That's going to be the reality. So now the companies have not evolved. Unfortunately, now you guys are in the crossroad. On one side, AI adoption is happening very fast. On the other side, companies have still not changed. But in reality, when you go, you're not going to handwrite code. You're going to use all the tools. And you know the tools. Many of you, like the gentleman who spoke, I think, Agrib. He has built products. I'm sure he'll be smart enough. Maybe the other person, Abhinav, he has also built something. Although you know how to build software, how to build products. However, Infi does not change. Wipro does not change. TCS, Ninja does not change. They'll ask you for coding. Microsoft does not change. Now, how do you handle this? That is the problem to solve, right? If you're in that bracket of people who are blessed to have the kind of skills needed with DSA, then you don't have to worry about it. It's an opportunity. But if you're in the bracket where you're struggling to do your coding, then what should we do? I hope this question is valid. Okay, let's move ahead. Next. So what companies say, Subbu, we know all those things. We know all that. We know Bold, we know Cursor, we know Lovable, we know Cloud, we know Chat. All that we know. We have been using this every day, but I don't care. I want to hire a person who can think, solve, code, period. But when he comes to my campus, he's going to use my tools. But I want him to know this, because when he looks at the code, he should know how to debug. He should know what the problem is. It's like, I can obviously write a poem in Latin now by using ChatGPT. But if somebody asks me, I'll not know what to do if I don't know how to interpret. So they're insisting on that. Plus, when you do DSA, there's something called time, space, complexity. Hold on 1 minute, please. So what the company says, look, get me a person who can code, and then we will put him on to all the tools. Okay, so this is important. So companies say, I need people who can think, who can solve, who can code, and then you can teach all the tools. Next slide, please. So the AI paradox is this. How many times you have heard how AI is changing the world? Unfortunately, AI does not seem to influence campus placements at all. But it's not zero. There are companies who hire based on hackathons. There are companies who don't care about your coding skills literally, but they know how you build applications. But that I cannot stand here and give as an example and give the wrong message telling that, look, you all know how to build applications, people will come and hire you. No. The reality today is still that you got to go through all these levels. Okay. So please be ready about this. However, once you clear the first, second round, this guy is gold because he knows how to do AI-native development. That is, you clear your 2 coding rounds. Then the differentiator for Marquee is this skill. This is your differentiator, but it's not your entry gating. Your gating is still coding, but your premiumness comes here. Then you look at Copilot, you look at how to use agents, you can look at AI-native development, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's move ahead. So all of you know this. This will be done multiple times. I think under 2-3 years it will change. But right now, round 1 is OA online assessment, which is aptitude coding. Round 2 is all tech interview. They focus on DSA and computer science fundamentals. And then they do a deeper technical evaluation. There's an offer. Sometimes companies do round 2 as 2 rounds of coding. Some companies do only 1 round of coding. It all depends. But even the minimalistic hiring which is happening, for a simple 4 lakh rupees job of SDE, your round 1 is inescapable. Okay, and I know all of you know this. There's no, it's an open secret, right? Next. So this is a boy who gives me a lot of pain. And I'm working with them all the time. There's a boy who has won national hackathon. It's very, very, very difficult. Try doing that. Try going on a Thursday morning, not sleep for 3 days, by Sunday building an application and going live. Very difficult. And this is when thousands of people are competing. This boy has done that. And he has really worked for international users. He has done the landscaping well. Some people have built their own startups. Some people have brilliant ideas. They've even shipped products. They have 10,000 users. I see people, sir, my iPhone, Android, I have 10,000 users. I have built this application. Now, all this is, and still they get rejected. Why? Now, the common question for all of us, including JSS, TPO, for myself, for everybody is, what do you do with this boy? If Suresh sir asks him to build an application, he'll build it for you in 2 days. He can really transform the institution. You have so many gems here. But round 1 coding will be a problem. Am I making sense here? Is that a common problem we are all facing here? So how should we solve this problem? How should we tackle this? We'll take a small break. We'll come back and look at it. But think about this. This is a very big paradox. One side, companies like us are going hammer and tongs on AI. I'm using AI every day. How this is transforming, I'll show you a lot of stuff also. But when it comes to ground reality, what is my interview process? Same thing. Why? So how should I approach this? Is that making sense? Okay. Next slide, please. So the suggestion is don't prepare for a role, prepare for the hiring funnel. I'm an excellent cybersecurity engineer, but what's your hiring funnel in your college? I'm a brilliant blockchain developer, but what's your hiring funnel at Infi? I'm a brilliant person on cloud. What's your hiring funnel at Microsoft? So the reality is you got to prepare for the hiring funnel. It's like being an IAS officer. You got to clear UPSC. Being administratively smart is not good enough. So you got to master the hiring funnel. So project number 1, I would like some of you to work with me is, can you create a portal for JSS University which maps your 200, 300, 400, whatever companies coming in. And if I click on the company, can I see the company's hiring funnel? Can I do analytics of this hiring funnel? Can I pick the 70, 20, 10 on the hiring funnel? Can I look at the questions which are being asked? So if you have this, it is going to be gold. Okay? So unfortunately, what I need is a full stack developer. But what I'm going to do is ask you coding. And why do companies do this? Because imagine some company comes and gives you a PPO offer now. You're going to join them in 2027, August. They have no idea what they're going to do. You're smart, you can code, you're good enough, you've done some projects, hackathon, good. When 2027 comes, maybe I'll be putting you into Go language. Or I might put into site reliability engineering or DevOps. They don't care. but they know that you're smart. Okay, that is going to be the key thing. So I would say, please prepare for the funnel. And then what will make you to stand out is when you look at the projects you do, the internships you do, the AI that you know, these are all very important. Track 2 is very critical. That will give you premiumness. But track 1 is your entry. I got to get into JSS through that door. That is track 1. Once I stand here, I can do all the goodies. Okay, so please stick to ground reality. You got to know that. You got to code. How to tackle if you are not able to code, what you should do. We'll do that. I'll take a small break. Okay. The next slide, please. I think this is the last one. Okay. So the biggest mistake, I'll just take a couple of more slides. I'm good at development. I'll clear all the coding around. No. Being good at development is not equivalent to being good at coding in this online assessments. It is not equivalent to using graph and writing DP. I can be brilliant full stack Spring Boot developer, but then the reality is I should still go through those 300 lead code problems. Okay, don't mistake these two. Software engineering is brilliant, but this is like a competitive exam. Similarly, so your GitHub will not clear the OA. You might have a lot of projects. Your startup does not clear the OA. Your hackathon certifications do not. Your AI projects do not. But if you have this and you cleared gate 1, then you will rock. So now focus on how to clear gate 1, then we'll see how to rock. Okay, next. So the new campus engineer. So don't just get into coding, be an AI guy also. So once you can solve, you can code, you can build, then use AI and explain. So we'll see how to blend whatever futuristic tools. I'll give you a list of tools everybody should know. You put them in your resume, start practicing, you'll clear your L0 screening. Then you code, you'll clear round 1. Then you work on the projects, you'll get a mark. It's a very easy thing. It's not some magic. It's a system we have built where repeatedly by doing this, we are able to produce people who can get into those marquee premium roles. Okay, next. Okay, so I have one last poll before we take a break now. How many of you are very confident with DSA? Can you raise your hands? When I say confident, I don't use ChatGPT. I don't use Claude. I don't need any AI tool. I can stand here now. If you ask me to write a binary search tree, I can code it out. Can you please raise your hands? How many of you are good with DSA? Your hands up, please. 1. Can you please stand up? Yeah, good. What's your name?
Myself, Parth Mittal.
So you're good with DSA?
Yeah, I think so.
Without any AI assistance?
Yeah.
You can code from scratch?
Yes, sir.
What's your name?
Parth Mittal.
Parth. Can we remember his name, please? No. Parth. Thanks. I'll meet you after this. Okay. Anybody else? Parth found an employment opportunity today, now, just because he stood and told confidently he knows DSA. Anybody else? Okay. Let's go to the next one. How many have solved 200 lead code problems? Can you raise your hands? Very good. I see many hands going up. How many have built a real product? Can you raise your hands? Very good. Okay. How many have real users? Say, very good. Who has done an internship? Yeah, this is a very important thing. Please raise your hands. Some internship, paid, unpaid, anything. Okay. So many hands are still down. Okay, great. How many have all of this? Can you raise your hands? Who has done all of this? Very good. I see some hands up here. I know DSA well. I have written 200 plus problems. And I have built a real product. Very good. So what should we do now in a year's time? When I say how many have all of these, all hands should go up. If you can do that in 2 years' time, then you can forget about the placement problem. Okay, so thank you with this. We'll take a small break and we'll come back.
Thank you so much, sir, for such an inspiring session. Now our resource person is going to have a 5-minute break. And until then, I would like to request our TPO ma'am Dr. Parveen Poontarang to kindly engage the students. Please give a huge round of applause for ma'am. Students, please be seated. The break is not for you, it's for the resource person. Please be seated.
Be seated.
Yes,
Nobody supposed to
students.
move. Please, program start within 5 minutes.
Yes, final year students, I request you to please sit down. We can have a bit of a discussion because the placement season is upcoming. It's already open. So I request you to please sit down because I can then convey the instructions to a group as a whole. Because I only get branch wise. Yeah, but to have this opportunity. Yes, please sit down.
अरुण सर इसको निकल जाओ बाद में करना टाइम बाद में
So very good morning, Honorable Pro Chancellor Sir, our respected advisor Sir, our chief guest, Subbu. I think I like that nickname. Our respected Dean Academic Sir, Registrar Ma'am, all our dignitaries, our head of the departments, our placement coordinators, and dear students. I hope I'm audible to you. Yes, at the back of the hall. I request everyone to please be seated. Please sit down. So I think this is a very good opportunity for us to discuss where are the small gaps which need to be filled. And we are most fortunate to have someone so experienced in our midst today. And I think most important is the timing of this program is perfect for YOP 2027 because you're just on the threshold of starting your placement season. Yes, can I have your attention in the back? Can you please quieten down? So there are certain questions which I would like to ask you. I think everybody is asking questions, so I think I also have, this opportunity to ask you because we've never really had this opportunity to address the complete final year in one setup. We've met in the orientation session and consecutively we've met you batch-wise, branch-wise. But now because we have the placement season which is open, this is a wonderful opportunity. I have got the opportunity and the team to address you. So as you all know, your campus placement season is now open. It had started in the end of July 2026. I'm sure you're all aware. I can't hear you. Yes? No, yes? I can't hear you. Yes? Are you ready for placements? A very weak yes. All ready for placements? Yes. Okay. So having said that, there are going to be a lot of changes with respect to the placement scenario, right? And I'm sure you are connected with your senior batch and you are aware of what is the processes that happen during the placement season. So I just want to share my experience because it has been exactly 4 years. And within 4 years, we have seen a complete turnaround in the manner in which placements have been happening. Yeah, so I would like to share with you so that this will only second whatever our guest or speaker has to say today, right? So one of the first things that have been noticed is that most of the companies that are approaching us or the companies that we are approaching are asking that the students should have participated in national level hackathons or some hackathon which proves that they can be a team member, number one. Number two, the very fact that they are participating means they are able to address a problem statement. Right? Number three, if they have participated in any hackathon, is it something that is being done in-house, or have they traveled to some other, institute or some other place wherein they have had to make the provisions to collaborate, network with people from other institutes, right? So this hackathon, which sir has so wonderfully mentioned, is one of the manner in which the companies are now looking at the students. So hackathon, initially it used to be a one-on-one. They would come to the campus. Most of the companies, out of 100% of companies, 99% of the companies would prefer to come on a one-on-one basis to the campus, because they prefer to have a small group. They prefer to have a set of students who they are familiar with in terms of the institution, in terms of the, the type of alumni who have passed out from the institute. But now they have changed the mode. They want to know whether our students are adept enough to collaborate with students of other institutes. Are they adept enough to go to other places which is not in their comfort zone? So now, from one-on-one campus placement, they are slowly moving into the hackathon mode, right? So I just like to quote, so sir had very wonderfully mentioned. So Infi, hack with Infi, right? Many students call that the off-campus. Many students had come to me and said, ma'am, this is off-campus. But if you see what Infosys is doing, is that they are slowly tapering down their campus recruitment into a hackathon. They much prefer that a student would have now competed with the students on a national level and, had some footing as to where their ranking would be in terms of coding. So it's not only Infosys. Now you go to TCS, right? And in fact, there have been some companies which are not so big, but in their process of campus recruitment, as sir mentioned, the first thing that is done is the shortlisting as per your CVs. Second is they would ask you to sit for an aptitude test, and then comes the coding. And in one of the coding rounds, the name of the coding round is known as a hackathon. So now, looking at the change in the scenario, I think whatever input sir is going to give us and whatever, pointers he's going to tell you, you have ample time to gather your wits. I'm sure you have a lot of information with you. You have a lot of, you have done a lot of projects. So my suggestion is that gather together, see what you have. If you have not been able to do, you've not been able to participate, please prepare yourself for what is coming. So in my experience, with the blessings of His Holiness Swamiji, the students of JSS are, if not immediately well placed, within a certain period of time, in a year or 6 months, definitely come up with the best possible offers there are. So there is a lot of confidence that I have in the final year batch. For every final year, this is something that we always look forward to, that the placement season is open and our students will definitely perform. So without further ado, I don't want to keep you away from our speaker of the day. So I want to wish you all the best. I will be meeting you on various campus recruitment dates. Yeah, all the best. Sir, over to you. But this mic is not giving. This mic is not giving too well an audio. I think the sound is a bit. Okay. Yes.
Okay. So can we? Great. I would like you to, in fact, we can even share the deck with you. I would like all of you today, now as you're talking to me, maybe you can use your phone Make a list of the skills needed. Good that your placement season is starting. What is important, what is not important. So please don't waste time doing unnecessary things because you're in your final year. You should be very, very, very focused. Prepare only on things that matter. Once you get hired, then you start working on more projects. Maybe we can have one more interaction, right? So right now, what are companies looking at? We will keep them as core skills. So companies are looking at, we can go to the next slide, please. So they are not looking at 25 technologies. They are not looking at 15 certifications. They are not looking at you mastering every AI framework. There are two very, very, very important things companies are looking at. What is the first one? Your coding skills. What is your second one? Your communication skills. Imagine you have to survive only on two, right? If you can talk well, let us say you have done very well in your coding round. But then, this is not an ideal thing. I'm talking about a minimalistic thing. Like I'm working with a college in Andhra. I found some very brilliant people. We are working with them, they are working on projects, their coding skills are very good. The problem is their communication skills are very, very weak. Unfortunately, in India now, communication is attributed to English speaking skills. It is very unfair. It is totally irrelevant. But then all these changes, you have to be practical, as Suresh sir said. There's ideal world, there's a practical world. Practically, you will have to be good here. But still, companies have a lot of tolerance for what we call as MTI, mother tongue influence. I have an MTI, you might have an MTI. It's okay. You don't need to be recit in your communication. But as long as you can communicate, I think here, people from the north have an advantage when compared to people from the south. Both might have weak language skills, but the North Indian engineers are a little more expressive. In South, we are very shy. Now imagine this person is very shy. He comes from a rural background. He cannot talk fluent English. And he has not stood on the stage like this and presented at least 200 times. You should make people present, every student. But he is a brilliant programmer. What is a heartbreaking thing? Round 1 cleared, round 2 cleared, round 3 failed. Round 1 cleared, round 2 cleared, round 3 failed. Round 1 cleared, round 2 cleared, round 3 failed. Like this 7 times. Round 1 cleared, round 2 cleared, round 3. Why? Communication skills is not there. But in round 1, out of 1,000, only 18 cleared. Round 2, 7 cleared. This guy is in that 18. He's in the 7. But round 3 failed. So what I do? I talk to companies. I know I have a good network. A lot of these senior CXOs, we have all worked together, right? The good thing is, if you've been working for 20, 30 years, everybody with you would be somebody in some place. So then we tell, look, this boy is brilliant. His communication skills are not up to the mark, but he's very brilliant. Hire him. We make some recommendations. We try to push them. We are not pushing in a wrong way. And I have met enough people who talk broken English, but over 5 years, they improve a lot. You'll see in IT industry, many people are not very fluent, but they do this. So you got to push. So one request from the management is we have to push some of those people. But you can push people on lack of English fluency, but you cannot push people on those who don't talk at all. Communication is different. I have to talk. Even in Hindi, you can talk. You can talk in Hindi and say, look, I can do anything you want to. Don't hold me in the language. I can write this code. And you have seen my code. DSA is DSA. That language doesn't matter. Communicate. So please keep this in mind. I hope you are not among those guys. Round 1 cleared, round 2 cleared, round 3 failed. That you should completely avoid, okay? So 2 very important skills is this. Can I go to the previous slide, please? So the previous slide. So you see that the core skills are already difficult. You need to know your algorithms well, more than algorithms, coding well. You should know DSA well, and you should have communication. Your project should look good. So I would like to tell you, if you have to do very, very, very minimalistic thing, code well, learn DSA well, communicate, present well, do one good project. This is the most minimalistic thing you should do in order to get your first job. If you do this, then you look at other skills. So can I have your hands raised? How many of you will rate yourself well here? Don't be shy. Nobody is going to judge you. As I told you, I have failed 2 interviews in my life. One was Sun Microsystems. It was my dream company. I failed very badly. Second was Huawei, one Chinese company. It was a very prestigious thing to get there. I cleared so many rounds. Last round, that guy literally murdered me. One, I could not understand his Chinese accent. Plus, I was applying for a designer role. He was asking questions which were all bouncers. I can still not forget that 2 times in my life I have really faced the heat. One is in Huawei, where I went red. Sun was better. One more time in US when I spoke to that healthcare lady. 1 hour I sat through without understanding anything she spoke. Imagine 1 hour I keep talking and nothing you understand. This hurts me. But today I'm seeing kids. Sir, I've done 70 drives, 80 drives, one guy, 200 drives, 300 drives. Imagine 300 times this guy is failing in interviews. I'm working with a university where 600 companies come for placement hiring. 600. 800 on a good year. Imagine 800 companies if a person is continuously failing. Can you believe that? The lack of preparation. Because just by continuously attending interviews, then I'll attend all interviews. There are thousands of companies. No. You should have that ego. That one interview, it will hurt you if you fail. Unless you are hurt, you will not prepare well. And you should be very confident. When I got into Microsoft, it's not about me. I want you to get this message. He told me, Subbu, we have interviewed 12 people. Haha, you're the 13th guy. I said, Rand, you'll be 13th time lucky. That came cocky. But you have to be cocky. You have to be confident. You should not be egoistic, but you should be confident, okay? So you should prepare very well. Don't shoot in the dark. Remember, only 3 things are required. So I would like you to please raise your hands. How many of you think you can code without using GPT or anything? Not DSA, formative logic. If I ask you for loops, arrays, functions, you can take a problem and solve. You're comfortable. Can you please raise your hands? You don't feel shy? If you don't know, it means nothing to me. My daughter cannot code, so I don't see her as a coder. She's a bioscience person. She's brilliant. But I just want to get a count. Okay. Can you all please stand up? If you can, those who just raise your hands. That I can code without using GPT. Can you please stand up? Yeah. My request, can you please stand up? You're all good. You can code without GPT. You can have formative logic. Can I request somebody to please take their names, if possible? You can come here, give it to sir, the names. It will be very useful. We can try to accelerate what you're doing. All of you who stood up, if you can kindly come here, give your names. That will be very useful. At least for the trip here, I can create 20 jobs. I'm taking you at face value. Those who cannot, don't worry at all. That's why we are here. But in case somebody is able to code, great. My next question to you, of course, it's not a, yeah, the rest of you can please sit down. My next question to all of you, how many of you are very confident about your communication skills? You say, look, you put me in front of the interview. I will crack this. Can you please raise your hands? How many of you, I would like to get a poll. Communication skills, please raise your hands. I need more hands. So many cannot talk. It's impossible if you're in Noida and you cannot communicate. I find that very strange. Okay. Okay, I think we will park the lot for now.
Hello. Hello, guys. Hello, guys. You can give your names to your TPC member later. Now, time being, you attend the session.
So the number of students sitting is still high. I really appreciate your honesty. Okay. So don't worry, we'll put a plan together on what you do. I just want to get a poll. Looks like we got some 20, 25 people. So Suresh sir, I would love to have an interaction at some point in time. Okay, can I go to the next slide, please? Next slide. Okay, you can take a picture of this. You might already know this, but please take a snapshot of this. What are the 5 non-negotiables? Any company in the world which is coming in, what you should do. And please make sure you first complete this before you go ahead. So you need to be good with coding. Problem solving is captured when you actually start doing quantitative programming logic and also with aptitude. Definitely they will expect you to have good problem solving skills. DSA, aptitude and communication. Madam, do you have aptitude sessions conducted for all these people here? Okay, I hope this helps. Now this is minimalistic. This will not guarantee everything across marquee, but mostly if you have these skills, you are safe. You now know that. So prepare only on this. So please don't try to change a language. Don't listen to your friend who's working, he's not you. Your uncle will tell something, somebody will, don't go with all those things. You have been working on Python for 2 years, stick to that. You're working on Java, stick to that. You're working on C++, stick to that. Fourth year is not the time to change a language. Language is a medium. I can do the same session in Kannada. My Hindi is not so good. I could have attempted doing that. So don't get into languages. You have to follow yourself. If you know Java well, stick to that. Only the basic programming part. Then problem solving. I hope all of you are already working on lead code. How many already have a lead code profile? Can you raise your hands here? Lead code. Okay, good. Not only lead code, there are multiple platforms. Lead code questions are more common. Companies keep asking. Okay, so do all the problem solving. DSA. Today, companies require you to know at least till binary trees. Linked list and binary trees. It is okay if you do not know graphs. It is okay if you do not know dynamic programming. But minimum you should know is linked lists and binary trees. How many of you would be comfortable till linked lists and binary trees? Can you raise your hands? Not bad. Okay, thank you. Yeah, next slide, please. So we already saw the hiring roadmap. Next slide. Next slide, please. Yes, so I hope you don't get into this trap. Many students will come and tell me, sir, I know React, I know MERN, I know Spring Boot, I know Fast API, I know VectorDB. I've been working on machine learning. That is all fine. What companies are telling is, we don't know ourselves what we are going to work next year when you join us. So don't worry about all those things. Can Microsoft CEO guarantee that you will be working on .NET when you join them next year? Impossible. Nobody knows, right? The technology is changing so fast. Can you tell me which version, whether now ChatGPT came back, you know, they were beaten black and blue by Claude, latest release. They came back with a bang. Now, how many months? I'm sure Gemini will come back in 2 more months. Then Gemini will make news. ChatGPT will go down. Then Claude will come. Nobody knows. So therefore, what is Microsoft looking at? Whatever technology, why do you care? If I ask you to work on Golang, work on Go. If you want to work on Python, work on Python. If you have to put on Azure, go on Azure. You got to work on anything else, Graph, go. So I need to know what my business need is, and then you work on this. You got to have that flexibility. So therefore, don't become a specialist skill in your final year. You're not an engineer who has worked on 20 years C++ like me to say, I will stick to C++. Even I have to learn, right? You're too young. Be very flexible. At the same time, you should not have nothing. You should know one thing well, stick to that. So don't get into these traps. Okay, next slide, please. Next slide. It's not transitioning yet here, at least for me. Okay. Now there's a new trend which is emerging. So remember, you cracked DSA, you did coding round, then somehow you cleared the second round. In the third round, companies are going back into this. All of you know this. They ask you questions on operating system. What is process management? What does a scheduler do? What is round robin algorithm? What is LRU? How file management is done? They'll ask you questions on networking. What is TCP/IP? Do you know TCP protocol? What's HTTP? What's IP addressing? They'll ask you questions on databases, OOPS, and computer architecture. Now, the good news is companies don't want you to know anything outside of your syllabus. I'm sure all of this is in your syllabus. There's no new thing at all. So time and again, recently, Cloudera, they hired 27 lakhs. And now it is very tight because you're competing with all IITs. You're competing with all NITs. You're competing with VITs, SRMs, Amritas, JSS, everybody. So finally, this guy goes to the last round. That person comes and says, Subbu, your guys don't know fundamentals. They don't know what is an operating system scheduler. They don't know what is internet IP4 protocol. It is very shameful because these guys have learned everything. They've cracked all the algorithms. They don't know the concepts. So please make sure that these topics you should start revising, preparing. So if you can go to the previous slide, the main things you need to know. Can you go to the previous slide, please? Previous slide. Previous, one more. So all of us know that the main thing is coding DSA. Then there's round 3 in the manager round. So that you have to do well. These 5 are non-negotiable. Go one slide previous. The 5 are non-negotiable. We saw that which are the 5: coding, problem solving, DSA, aptitude, and the communication skills. However, can you come to the next slides? Next, please. Next. Yes. Now this is a new trend. Obviously, all of you know they ask OOPS questions. But today, companies are not looking at, tell me what is polymorphism. That's too silly. What is solid design principles? What is a design pattern? How many of you have heard a design pattern here? Can you raise your hands? Excellent. Normally I have no hands at all. How many of you know solid design principles? Can you raise your hands? Very good. Okay, so if you can be at that level, you'll rock. Okay, and similarly, you should know about computer architecture. So I gave you the first 5 non-negotiables. These are very, very critical. Next slide, please. Now, if I go to a Microsoft, I go to a Flipkart, I go to a JP Morgan, I go to a Morgan Stanley, I go to Amazon, I go to MUFG, I go to Google, what are they looking at? They'll not ask you, obviously, what is polymorphism? That's too silly. They will now start questioning your, hey, how do you design? If you have to model this auditorium, how do you do? I have class auditorium. Auditorium is a building. Building has many floors. One type of floor is an auditorium. Auditorium has so many rows. Rows has tables and chairs. It has students. There are many types of students. Students have so like this, you should start writing the object model. They'll ask you to start modeling. Then they'll say, okay, how do you design your database? How do you design your object hierarchy? So for those who are looking at getting into the marquee premium league, this is your golden Bible. Inescapable. You can take a picture. Those who are aspiring to get into a Microsoft, you got to be good with object-oriented design. Well, you got to know your system design. I hope all of you know. How many of you are preparing on system design? Can you raise your hands? Very good. System design is an inescapable reality. Microsoft or AWS or Amazon do not care about my C++ or Python skills. Subbu, 100 million transactions per second. How will you design your application? That's my worry. How do you handle security? You're having bots which are really quantum enabled, trying to hack into the network. How's your compliance architecture, security architecture? Have you thought about this? Have you thought about scalability, performance, concurrency, transaction rate, security, compliance, data architecture, usability, right? So many questions I'll ask you. Because they're more worried about that. This coding is very easy. So very, very important. So make sure you learn system design well, and then query optimization. When we first ran the US healthcare, our queries would be 90 million records. We'll fire, it will take 2 hours. The user is expecting result in 4 seconds. So how do you optimize it? So these three things will be very critical if you're looking at a marquee level placement. Next. So they are not looking at you building a React page. They want you to design a system that serves 10 million users. 10 million because it's a small thing. Facebook is not 10 million users. Facebook is 2 billion users. Right now, at that scale, how do you do? Okay, very, very important. I'll share some prompts with you. Run them now. You'll really have fun. Okay, next. Then they ask you to work on a hackathon. Maybe next time if I meet you, some of the people who are able to clear those non-negotiables first, and then you go to the next level. Not next time cannot be after 1 year. You should do it very fast in the next 1 or 2 months. I would love to maybe have spent some time on how to do system design and how to build real hackathons that matter. Okay, now when you do hackathons, please do the tiering in your resume. Your tier 1 hackathons matter more. Your tier 3 hackathons don't matter at all. The ATS does not pick. So make sure that when you're attending hackathons, even if you're attending, put a ChatGPT query, is it tier 1? Yes. There should be some credibility. Otherwise, it only eats into space in the CV. Nobody is going to look at it. You can as well put something else. So make sure that you're attending the right hackathons. Next. If you're a finalist, participant, winner, even better. Then, this is gold. The one thing that will help you if you have nothing is internships. If you are not good at coding, you've not done everything is excused. But your internships are very, very critical. So I would love to get a lot of companies coming in here because you cannot keep traveling all over. There's so much and so much and so much of remote internships. We'll maybe have one small place where you can all come and work, working along with your professor. So your internship is most critical. So it's a very critical aspect. I hope you're working on it. I'll tell you how to repackage in next slide. Next. Then of course your project. Normally, previously, companies would say, can you explain your project? You know why they ask, explain your project? Not that they care about the project. They'll see your communication skills. Then is this guy a deep guy, shallow guy? How deep he goes? Today, they are not looking at communication skills. They really want to see your project. What are you doing? Right? So this is a very critical thing. How to represent a project. I'll give you a prompt. It will help you to audit and how to project it, which we'll do next in the next slide decks. Next. Then your digital footprint. How many of you have a great Git profile? Can you raise your hands? You have all your projects captured on Git. Very good. How many of you have at least 500 connections on LinkedIn? Can you raise your hands? This will be very good. 500 is no problems. In fact, there are crazy companies which say if this guy has 500 LinkedIn, only then they select you for the interview itself. I don't know what is the correlation, but looks like they see it as proactive. So 500 LinkedIn connections, remember, otherwise start connecting. Very important. Then, how many of you have, anybody has won a hackathon, tier 1 hackathon, or finalist, you have gone in, participated in a tier 1 hackathon? Excellent. Very good. So you have a lot of talent here. Certifications, put at least 2. 2 good, don't put too many. 2 that matters, 1 minimum. 2 that matters, okay? So this is a standard template. Next. The ATS realities. I'm going to share with Ahuja sir one prompt. Anytime you're building a CV, you can run a prompt, ask it to rate. You have to hit at least a 90%. Your ATS score should be 90%. Otherwise, you might be brilliant. You will not get picked at all. So you got to learn how to do that. I'll share some best practices later. Okay, next. ATS means applicant tracking system. And remember, communication is not English. My language fluency will not make me clear anything in Microsoft. They don't care. Everybody speaks fluently. Communication is how your internal clarity is mandatory before you communicate. Mostly in the interviews I used to reject, it's because people don't have clarity. They are making a way out. Never do that. Your internal clarity is very, very critical. Talk only what you're very sure of. If you're not sure, pause, have clarity, then you speak. Clarity is important. And the structure, logic, confidence. There's a model called STAR. How many of you know this? Can you raise your hands? I know the STAR model of leadership. Okay, this is not good. everybody should know. If you're attending an interview, you will have to answer the question using STAR model. It's a very proven model. Just type on your phone, STAR model. Every company will expect you to solve this. If you're given a problem, you should say, what is the situation? Then what task should you do? What actions you should do? What results you want to achieve? When you attend an interview in Microsoft, you should use a STAR model. Okay, most of these companies, they follow this. So please keep this in mind when you articulate. Next. What about the technologies? Actually, they are great. But at the level that we are right now in, the measure of the crowd I get, it is a bonus. But first thing is you got to get your first 5 non-negotiables. I would like to see more hands on DSA, more hands on the previous things. But if you have done all those and you can really work on this, it is amazing. Okay, next. For data roles, some of you might say, okay, I'm not really focusing on high code engineering. I would love to get into data roles. Yes, then you should know SQL very well. That's where you start from. You cannot be a data analyst without knowing SQL. How many of you know SQL really well? You can do query optimization and do partition indexes, and you can do indexing. Okay, normally hands are very low. How many of you can build an application without a database? Can you raise your hands? I can build an application without a database. Can you raise your hands? The most ignored thing that will strike you in the interview is lack of database skills. It is unthinkable, impossible. I'll never hire a person who does not know how to design a database. Where do you put the data then? You cannot put this on the cloud. You cannot put this. So please remember your data skills are very, very important. Okay, it is not only for data engineering for all roles. So they'll expect you to know SQL well. You know ETL. You can refer to this. ETL means pipelines for extract, transform, load. You have tools like KNIME, KNIME. You can make a note. Alteryx, that's a tool. All this Informatica, if you know this, wow, you will sound cool. This easier way to get a job because most of the companies in Mumbai, Delhi, they are all into data analytics, a lot of startups. If you can take data, do visualization, showcase this, because most of you guys will have good comm skills. It's a very low-hanging fruit, easy way to get into the industry, okay? I'll spend a little more time next time when I meet you. And you should know visualization. You should know at least Power BI. Anybody knows Power BI here? Can you raise your hands? Very good. Tableau, anything. Tableau, Power BI. You can use any Python framework also. Okay, fine. Next. Cyber security. Out of many things, cyber security has 19 domains. It has 48 subdomains. We have 2,700 tools that we have listed. That is all. In that, you should know minimum this. You should know networking really well. Your security fundamentals very well. SOC, today, people are moving into data centers, setting up NOC, Network Operations Control Center, and Secured Operations Control Center. And then pen testing, ethical hacking, compliance. Anybody from cybersecurity here? Can you raise your hands? Okay, then it's not, okay. So please make sure that these 6 you know, everything else is bonus, like IAM, etc. Next. Okay, so this is the pyramid. First, you have to clear level 1. If you clear level 1, that's it, I can do magic. We can take you to any level you want to. Level 1 is not in my hands, it's God's creation, your effort. You have to do that. So level 1 is, you got to clear the gate. Level 2, work on real projects. Level 3, move from, Amazon said it beautifully, problem solving, problem solving, problem solving, people all eat my head. So boy, I don't want problem solver, I want an engineer. We all know how to solve problem, but I want to see the hands of an engineer. He should know cloud well, DevOps well, processes well, estimation well, entire engineering well. So can you give me an engineer? So you should have the hands of the engineer. That's your level 3. And then you differentiate by the hackathons you do, by the deep tech you use, by the AI skills you have. Some of the third year guys, maybe you have a slightly better heads up. I really hope next year, third year guys who stand in the stage, we should be at level 4. You should not go and beg for a job. Company should come chasing you. Like what I told the Microsoft guy, remember, you'll be lucky the 13th time. You should have that confidence. You should prepare well. Okay, this is going to be your pyramid. Next. Now, if I had 6 months, realistically, it will take 6 months. Good thing is you have time. Many people wake up next year, March, they'll come to me, sir, what do I do? I did not find a job. What can anybody do? It will take 6 months minimum to prepare. You have 6 months now. So what you should do coding, make sure you clear your aptitude, look at DSA, look at your CS fundamentals. So I have created this slide. In fact, I spoke to a lot of TA people, my team. In fact, yesterday I got one very senior guy to come into the hotel to meet me, to make sure that it is very current, contemporary. This is what you're handling. I cannot name the company, of course. So this is the most critical thing. In 6 months, you have to plan. So maybe what you should do is you should talk to your TPO, to your HODs, to your mentors. Each person should show you a plan. You should make this as like a Gantt chart. Gantt chart means coding is one line, aptitude is a line item, project is a line item. Put this, showcase timelines. Coding, I'll spend 2 months. DSA, learn in 3 months. This, so you have to have a Gantt. You should have a proper plan. Then the TPO will know how to present you. Otherwise, we call hack with Infi now. You'll get 0 conversions is not a good thing, right? I'm not telling you'll be at 0. I'm sure there are many brilliant people. But you got to be very, very realistic. Communicate with your TPO. Communicate with your HODs. Set realistic plans. Don't be in that somehow I'll get it. There's no need to be in somehow. You got to have a plan, okay? Make a Gantt around this. Next. So now we see 3 types of students. The certificate collector, that guy is useless, so don't worry about that. The builder, they're very good, but they should focus on the online assessment, OA, clearing the coding wrong. The engineer. So what you have to become is SDE, software development, not coder, engineer. So you need to have the skills. And my invitation is use your ChatGPT. Ask, what does a 3-year experience guy do? 3 year is called SDE level 2, software development engineer level 2. What does a 3-year experience guy do? If I'm working in the industry 3 years, what should my JD look like? The 3rd year kids especially, you should build those skills. You should not come out as fresher. You should say, look, you interview me at the level of SDE 2. I've deployed some people in G recently. They will absolutely beat the SD2 guy. They're very, very good. It's just a mental thing. Anyway, you're preparing. Why you want to prepare as a fresher? Become an experienced guy. You should start studying. What are the 3-year guys doing? Target that. Okay. Next. So if you got an interview tomorrow, can you? How many of you do? Tomorrow, not tomorrow, today, now, if required, I'll conduct an interview. I'm hiring for some real good companies. So you should know, I can solve the code. I can explain DSA. I got a nice project. I can explain deeply. I know my concepts really well, operating system, networking, and database. I can come here. I can do a scalable system design, and I can articulate clearly. That guy is very important. You don't have to raise your hands now. I'm sure many of you will be ready. But remember, you have to put a plan, either in a month's time, 2 months' time, 3 months' time, realistically 6 months' time, no problems. 9 months' time, no problem. You become ready, I'll get you companies. But you got to have a realistic plan. Don't rush. Keep doing something and then believe that you'll get into this, okay? I'm sure you can make it. So put a plan. Okay. Next. Thank you. I hope this will help you to know the skills you need. So I have more, but do you have any questions for me? I got some 30 questions. Instead of me running through other slides, I think I'm happy to do this. If you have any questions, you can use a mic and ask me any questions, including can you hire me, which companies, who is coming, what campuses, how can you help us, how do I know I'm good enough? You can ask me any question you want to. Whatever I know authentically, I will answer. Any questions you have? So I will not be talking as we are all going to formulate your questions. I will request the presenter to just scroll through slide by slide. Now, many people ask me, Subbu, what are the minimalistic AI skills I need to have? You can play the next slide one at a time. Okay, all of you will know this. You all know ChatGPT, yes. You all know Cloud, yes. You know Gemini, yes. Perplexity, it's very good for deep research. I'm sure all of you will know this. I don't see any challenge at all. Next. How many of you have used Cursor? Can you raise your hands? I'm sure many of you. Very good. It's a wonderful tool. It's now the #1 native IDE. How many of you use GitHub Copilot? Anyone's used? Yeah, very good. Because VS Code integrates with GitHub Copilot. Very good. Cloud Code. I think I should have more hands going up. Less. Maybe it's a licensing issue. Okay. Codex. Anyone's used Codex? Very good. These are the minimum things. You can have anything similar, but in your CV, please make sure that, okay, I have done all these things. Don't simply put ChatGPT is AI. That's not. You got to do this. Next. We look at the, how many of you use Lovable? Can you raise your hands? Of course. I mean, I'm shocked you have so many hands down. You should not have anybody in the room without using Lovable. You should all build one proper web application, responsive. Okay. Anybody uses Bolt? Okay, Bolt is very good. Cool. Check this out. And Versal was very good. Now Versal, okay. And then Replit is taking over. Okay, these are some tools you can remember, make a note, take a photo. Next. Then you also have a lot of no code, low code automation. Anyone's worked with Zapier? Have you heard about Zapier? Can you raise your hands? Very good, excellent. You have excellent opportunity for RPA automation. How many have done N8N? It's called Nation. Okay, excellent. Then Make. Anyone's worked on Make? Okay, no issues. That's a rare skill. Yeah, very important. How many have worked with Lang chain, Lang graph? Can you raise your hands? Okay, this is a very defining moment. I would definitely not want to have anybody who has not done this. The whole world is agentic. Without agentic, we should not exist. Please make sure that you learn agentic AI. And a good thing to start with is Lang graph and Lang chain, which is a very important skill to have. It will not take you more than a week's time. You can learn from some of your friends. So please make sure that you have this. See how you can construct your CV, because I have to clear the L0 round, right? In my L0 round, if I put all these things, it's cool, but simply putting, you'll get stuck. I'm not telling create a false CV, right? But you got to create the right ones. Then, okay, I'm sure you would have used a lot of OpenAI APIs. Then that normally people do. Okay, next. Okay, you have a lot of data analysis. Remember, the kind of data analysis Cloud, ChatGPT, Gemini does is mind-boggling. First do that. And then people always like to come through in the hackathons. You can quickly create a video, make an audio. You can have a lot of tools. I've given you a few. I use a lot of Runway and 11 Labs. For design, we use Lovable and Figma. And deep research, we use Notebook LM. Next. So, but however, don't keep putting tools. If you want to do tools, I'll give you 108 important tools, AI. That will not help. What I'm telling you is really have the skill. Really work on them like how most of you have started doing this. Next. Okay. Thanks. We'll go to the last deck. Okay, I would like you to go to the last slide because we'll not have much time. You will have a slide deck 9. Slide? No, the next deck, not this. If you can go to a deck, which is what I should do next. Slide deck number 9. Yeah, I find your talent. Yeah, that's it. So obviously we can keep going on and on and on and on. I don't want to bore you, but now if your question is, I saw 30 questions. Sir, all this is fine. What should I do now? Can we have some silence on this? What you should do now? How I should go ahead? Okay. So first thing is, how many of you have asked yourself honestly, what are you good at? Okay, let's say you honestly ask yourself now, what am I good at? So what kind of engineer are you? What are you naturally good at? So let me have some hands. I'm naturally good at analyzing data. Can somebody raise your hands? Naturally. It comes to me naturally. I don't have to make an effort. Can somebody raise your hands? I'm good at analyzing data. Anybody is good with creative user experience design, UI design? Can you raise your hands? Naturally, I can start designing UI. Okay. So some people know UI. Naturally for me, okay. Infrastructure, networking, cloud interests me. So first thing, let's come to the next slide. Okay, this is alarming, but this will be useful. It is something which is very important. So we have assessed 5 lakh plus engineers. 15% of them are able to solve the coding challenges across all universities without naming. I'm working with a university where 3,700 people who scored 8 CGPA and above scored between 0% and 10%. This is very alarming, isn't it? On one hand, we want to create so many jobs. On the other hand, we have this as a challenge. Then we also saw that 65 to 70% are struggling to write code. I'm not talking about one here and there assessment. As I'm talking today, we have assessed 3,000 people. We keep doing this. It's a continuous thing. And now, what should I do? Now, I might be in that. I don't want to raise any hands now because it's a very personal thing. So I'll leave it to you. I might be in this band. I can solve. So what should I do? I've given you enough. Please take slides from there. You have enough meat in that you can keep learning and learning and learning, head towards the roles you need. But what if I am here? I am in this 65 to 70% mark. So what should I do then? Obviously, we want to help everyone. But what is it we can do? Let us see that. Next slide, please. Okay. So remember, I think our biggest achievement in the whole thing, because when I came back from US, I never thought I'll go to universities and train. We wanted to build startups, innovation. Then we got into this. The first thing I did is, what is your talent DNA? Who are you? Are you a high code engineer? Are you a low code engineer? Are you a no code engineer? Imagine I'm going to work with one young person here. I'll come stand. That's it. I'll keep telling Spring Boot, Java, Spring Boot, Java. No. First, I have to have a conversation with him. What are you? Who are you? What's your background? What do you love doing? What kind of movies you watch? Do you play sports? What are your interests? I should understand him. Then I should know his talent DNA. So the sad thing is, most of the skilling programs are done without we knowing what this person is good at. It's like I can come, I can absolutely teach everyone Spring Boot and go back. It will make no sense. So now that you can leave this. Now you ask yourself, have you discovered who you are? I'm working with a university there. If this guy gets a TCS Ninja job, his friends tease him. So they don't go to the campus interview. They don't, to make them attend a CTS drive, they have to make attendance compulsory, like pre-placement talk. They'll say pre-placement talk, 2 times attendance they'll give, double attendance. Then they'll go. Otherwise, they're not going for this basic pre-placement talk. And our hero comes like me, stands, he talks 4,000 people in the auditorium. Wow. Then 400 people go for the assessment. 3,600 people say, sir, my peer pressure is so much that my friend who got into marquee companies, they are teasing me if I go and sit in a volume hiring companies in interview. So today, the challenge we are having is they are feeling judged to go and sit in this. Can somebody be more stupid than that? No. But if you tell them, will they understand? No. That is the reality. Their friends are doing this. Their uncles are telling them. Their grandfathers are advising them. Their friends, they do everything, they don't listen to themselves. So very, very, very difficult to handle this. But this is a reality. And now they have a new logic. Sir, we are spending 30 lakhs on tuition fees and on hostel stay. At least I should get 25 lakhs as a salary. Correct. But at least you should know who you are in fourth year, isn't it? Now, this whole education has become equation of what money to make into what salary I get. At least we did not start with that. But as Suresh sir said, practically these are all the realities. So first thing what you should know is who you are. Are you a high code engineer, low code engineer, no code engineer? Remember, we have deployed no code engineers at 30 lakh CTC. I've deployed low code engineer at 46 lakhs in Amazon. And I've deployed a high code engineer at 5 lakhs also in a company. So there's a myth that only these guys can get this kind of salary. No. So first, let us make an honest poll. How many of you think you're really well suited for high code engineering? Can you please honestly raise your hands? How many of you think that I am well suited for high code engineering? Can you raise your hands, please? I love, my DNA is high code engineering. Okay. How many of you think you'll do good with low code engineering? Can you raise your hands? Low code. Okay. How many of you for no code engineering? No code. Now most of you, see the others who did not raise, you don't even know what you're good at. If you are not knowing what you're good at, how can your training and placement officer, madam, help you? How can anybody help you? How can the institution help you? How can your dad help you? How can anybody help you? How can you help yourself? I want to be a tabla player. Okay, but I want to sing like Muhammad Rafi. I cannot. I should know myself well. So very important, every student should know what you're strong. See, I can tell you what I'm strong. I'm excellent in system design. I can do scalable system architecture. I'm very good in formulating into a single principle. Find an E equals MC squared for a large problem. Only two things I'm very good at. There are a million things I have no idea about. My strength is I know that I'm not good at million things. And I don't cheat myself trying to being good at everything. Now, what an important strength it is to know myself. So I'm a great right footer. I'll not go and play left foot football for my club. I'll lose the match for them. So please remember, you all have to ask this question, what are you good at? And maybe some homework for those who are interested, find out what are the high code, low code, no code jobs. Do this as a group. We have 500-600 people. I'm sure between them you will discover 500 to 600 companies. Take all the names and give it to madam. Then we can start inviting them. Because you need to solve the problem collectively. It cannot be one single person doing this. So you should know your high code, low code, no code. You don't have to tell me that. My daughter, she is very brilliant. She refused Oxford and Cambridge. She went to UCL. But she is not a coder. I don't care about that. Who cares? She's brilliant. So brilliance is not just coding. But she knows what she's good at. That is why she's successful. She did her master's in just 4 years. Okay, because she knows. So the thing I told her the most is, I will not tell you anything. No uncle, no auntie, no father. You decide what you're good at. She decide. That is, as somebody said, ownership. You have to take ownership of your life. Self-accountability. Know this well, okay? Next slide, please. So starting point, know what you're good at. And then you know that talent can come in so many ways. So don't worry about this. Next slide, please. Okay, so you should know your coding capabilities. You should know your problem solving, technical depth, creativity, building ability. Next slide, please. So now the universities I'm working with, they want SD. Hey, please go to Blinkit. It's an excellent company. No, sir, I'll do SD role. Then I started, go to Blinkit, 18.5 lakhs. Yes, sir, I'll come. Sir, I said, you don't want to get into SD role. 2 minutes. No, sir, 18.5 lakhs. Can it be more crazy than that? So the motivation is not role. The motivation is 18.5 lakhs. Then how about, no, but they will not put you into a SD role. No problem, sir. So you should not be this chaotic. You should be firm. You should have the courage to say, go to US and say, look, I don't know what you're doing. Then God will take care. But you have to trust, go deeper. If you're shallow, it will take 2 minutes to find out in the interview. Okay, so know this really well. Now, everybody wants to do SD, but everybody cannot be an SD. Next slide. So, think about your check. High code, low code, no code. Now you saw me chanting one small shloka before that. From that you can make out, I can chant. It only took 8 seconds, 10 seconds. Like that, if I ask you to sing for 10 seconds, that's enough. Sonu Nigam will pick you if he's here. Similarly, in just 2 minutes, I can see the hands of the programmer and say, can this guy make it or not? Now, me knowing will not help. If you don't know, nobody can help, right? You should not cheat yourself. You should be very sure. Am I high code, low code, no code? And many people say, sir, I'm writing all the code. Little bit I'm seeing ChatGPT. There's no little bit. That little bit is everything. There's no little bit either. It's a Boolean. Either you write or you don't write. It's okay if you don't. Practice, but don't cheat yourself. Next. And remember, forget what your friend says, what I say. I'm not here to sermonize you. You have to listen to what you want to do. For that, you should be clear, not confused. That clarity is very, very critical. Okay. Now, I have mentored people who have been in C6 band. We normally band people. C1, C2, C3, C4, C5, C6. C6 means they're in the bottom. I'll introduce you to one guy, Aniket. He was in C6. Today he is rocking in IBM. It doesn't matter because finally last year, January, his eyes opened. Sir, I don't know anything. Our whole placement season is over. What do you do? I said, very good. At least now you know nothing. Start working. He did an internship. He worked very hard. That boy used to work 12 hours a day. He made it. So he got to work. Otherwise, he sat like this in front of me. Sir, I've come from NUS Singapore. I've done hackathons. Then for him, his body language to become straight, it took 10 minutes. Then today, he's different. Because misplaced opinions about self. Right? Simply something they do with students, with friends, and they start creating. No. Be very humble. See, I'm meeting some of the people. Very, very distinguished. Very humble. Humility is a very critical thing, but confident. Now, this boy today is doing very well. At least you're not sitting and asking me in January, what should I do? Like him. But that boy, I'll ask him to talk to you. He really started doing. So he had to move from C6, C4, come to C2. That's a huge journey. In my view, it will take 2 months to discover your coding DNA. If you're not making high code, 2 months practice low code. If not, get into no code. But you don't have more than 6 months time. Please don't waste your time. Shut off. Don't listen to your friends, your uncles, nobody. You should listen to yourself. You should know where you stand and tell what kind of job role you have to madam. That's a very important thing. Next. Okay. So if you're a high code engineer, if your DNA is good, it will take you 24 months. Obviously, people sitting here, it looks like you don't have 24 months. But I think at 20 years, you have a lifetime. So don't worry about all these things. It's not end of the life if you don't make it in the campus. But remember, it's a good 24 months. You got to build your foundations, do this. So what you can do, you can help yourself now. Definitely pass the message to your second year friends. Tell them, don't wake up at 4th year, start 1st year. In fact, people are coding in 11th. My cousin, my nephew, he's coding from 5th. He's awesome. You should start early because now today we are not living in Andaman Nicobar Islands with no electricity, internet. Everybody has access. You got to start coding. Remember, high code engineering to a marquee takes you 24 months. So those who are aspiring there, if you're already midway through, then you continue the journey. Next. If you're more suited for low code, no code, what should I do? This is 85% of the students. What should I do? Now whatever I tell, please listen carefully. These next 5 minutes might help you a lot. If you're not very good with coding, it doesn't matter. I don't care about that. What should you do? AI plus building solutions plus domain plus problem solving. So what I would do, let us assume coding is not my cup of tea, but I want to get into IT. So what I will do, I'll see what is a domain that interests me. I might be interested in sports. I'll take sports analytics. Imagine every single IPL match, every cricketer, I can start analyzing. Normally, we guys are very good in India, cricket, sports. Or I can take movies, you can do analytics. Or you can take fintech domain. Or you can take healthcare. So my thing is, take a domain. Domain does not require high code, low code, no code. Domain is domain. You should take healthcare or financial domain, retail, quick commerce. There are hundreds of industries. Take something that you're interested in. And also do a little bit of check in the market, but don't go too external. Take a domain, start reading through this. How does, if you're interested in equities, okay, what is a stock? What is a share? What is the future? What's a derivative? What's a call option? What's a put option? What's your ROI? How do you amortize this? How do you make money? Start learning this. If you're doing healthcare, what is managed care? What's an insurance? What's a ACO? Like that. You start reading through this. Now what happens when you come and meet me next time? You're doing, sir, Python project. No, you'll say, you'll talk about three things. I found that in Delhi, there are totally 1.2 lakh MSMEs who are working in manufacturing. I know that this is the kind of funding they need to move them to the next level. And then you'll start showing the whole supply chain. I'll be like shocked telling that, how the heck you learned this? What did you do? That domain knowledge will impress some of the companies. Still, not all companies will come in, but the best chance is be very good with your domain. Build something and start working with AI tools. Can you go next, please? Next slide. So this will be my passing, I'll not say advice, suggestion. Those who have been blessed to be in that 15%, challenge yourself if you want to on system design. You got to be really good with solid patterns, design principles, architecture, low-level design, high-level design, DSA, graph, DP. You're blessed to be here. Thank God for that. Start your journey. Those who are in the low code, no code, please create a view for horizon of 12 months, 24 months, 36 months. I'll tell you what I would do. Supposing I'm one of the no code engineers and God has given me some self-awareness. I'll say first, I'm no code engineer. I'll not compare myself and waste my lifetime, right? Second, I'll say, look, I'm going to make myself non-refusable. So what will I do? I'll take a 3 years view and I'll not take a lot of pressure. I'll start building something so deep. I'll go into the domain, do more research, and I'll realize I'm just 20, 21. I mean, you got 30, 35 years of career ahead. 1 year means nothing. Please don't be those guys who keep attending 200 interviews and keep failing. How long you can keep doing that? You cannot. So take a long-term view, start looking at the domain, build something, and then go around. In Delhi, it's becoming a startup hub now. Mumbai, a lot of startups. Bangalore, so many startups, so many remote. Intern Shala, you'll whole month you sit also, you'll not be able to clear. So many opportunities are there. Now you got to know how to sell yourself. Beg, borrow, still do whatever you want to. Attach yourself with some company. Before that, study the domain. Attach yourself with the company. Get in as an intern. Acquire the skills. Make sure you have a 2-year, 3-year timeline. Get in. Some people are Sachins. They get in to a 20 lakhs immediately. Some people are Rahul Dravids. In 3 years' time, they catch up. So it doesn't matter. If your goal is to hit 20 lakhs, whether you do it in 2027 or 28 or 29 or 30, you can take my word only on this. It does not matter. You have all the time in life to take over from there. So don't put unnecessary pressure. But remember, getting in, you got to have a foot into the industry. In your CV, jobless guy versus 1 year experienced. That matters. 2-year experience matters. So if you're able to crack something marquee, go for it. You want to prepare, go for it. But never stop being out of the industry. Get a foot into this. Make sure you're working somewhere. And then who will you hire? A 1-year experience or a fresher? Obviously 1 year. Let's say you're working for 2 years. Obviously 2 years. Maybe you're getting only 3.5, 4, 5, 6 lakhs. Doesn't matter. Your friend is blowing 20 lakhs. Let him do that. Don't compare. This is the biggest thing that you can do. Okay? So my request to all of you is know yourself really well. Take a domain, cling on to this, get in as an intern. Okay. So remember, your first job is not your destination. I would like to also talk to the management and see how we can have a model which supports people to repeatedly enable them to go to companies. Once your alumnus goes out, 2028, you can again represent them. Call companies to campus, not as a fresher 1 year. 2029, now 2 years. You can put a 3-year roadmap plan. Then you're mentally free because now you're giving everybody a chance. And realistically, people should have the right expectations. I should know myself well, right? I cannot become Sundar Pichai. I should know what my limitations, strengths are. When I talk, I should be responsible. It's like that, you should also know yourself well. Okay, next. So for people who are like not yet fully well versed in coding, your scope is domain knowledge research. If you meet some of my team, they'll do amazing research. They'll tell you stories of healthcare. They can tell you stories on retail that you'll be shocked with the knowledge you have. So you got to shock your clients. When you meet them, they should hire you for your knowledge. Forget coding, forget DS, all this is useless. They also know that. But the conditioning is to go through all the rounds. You should be so sharp. You should be a problem solver, build applications, but you cannot go and say, look, I have built this application. That everybody builds. What big deal it is to build an application? AI, how much time it took you? 2 weeks. Are you giving yourself 2 weeks edge? Then you're going to get beaten. But domain knowledge will take you months together. So create an edge where you say, look, I can tell you inside out how hospitals work, inside out how supply chains work, inside out how retail commerce, anything works. And then you know AI, you have solved a problem. Now companies will not refuse you. Definitely startups don't care about DSA. They'll give you a chance. Get into it, and then you start scaling up. Do that now anyway. I'm sure your college will allow you to attend multiple interviews as you go further. Okay, but do this for yourself. Don't worry about your friends. They have their life to lead. You have to get into the industry. Next. Of course, all of you know this. Imagine you're a HC with AI. Wow. I have one guy, Yahya. He built an entire platform in 2 weeks. Today, I can have 50,000 concurrent users. Amazing programmer. But I find it amazing because he's brilliant in how he uses AI technologies in addition to coding. Or imagine you become LC with AI, NC with AI, plus domain. So what you are good at, NC, HC, LC, plus use of AI, plus domain. Plus you should persist. Plus manifestation. See, Kohli does it, Virat Kohli. He said, when I went to Australia in 2014, 3 months, every day after nets, I'll come and visualize me belting the Australian bowlers in my mind. And when I went to Australia, that really happened. So he has the power of manifesting. You should manifest. 3 months, you should visualize where you're going to do, what you're going to work. It happened. Looks like fictitious, it is not. More than me telling you, listen to that Kohli's interview. You should know how to manifest. You should see that very clearly. So visualize yourself going deep into domain, doing AI well, and then you go and grab the opportunity. Okay, very, very important. Okay, next. So for some, 2027, September, you'll find your offer letter, or August. For some, maybe end of the year. For some, 2028, 2029. But nobody should have a poor plan which goes beyond 2030. Then you are not serious in life, or you don't know how to plan, or you better talk to your professors, take their help. It is a technical impossibility for you not to. Remember, all those pressures of fees are all okay, but get into the industry. You're very young. You're not like having a debt of $1 million in your head. Whether you repay loans in 2028 or 2029 doesn't matter. But if you're going to fail 200 interviews like this guy does, then it is very demoralizing for your parents, for yourself. So get into the industry. You got a job. Success will lead to success. First you get one. Then second will follow, third will follow. So you got to be successful. Next time I meet, no hands should be down. Any internship, everybody. How to do that is the college's problem now. How many jobs? Most of you. Right? That confidence, imagine this has. That's it. This will take off from there on. So it's a very important thing. Okay? Next. So know your DNA. I know what I'm good at. 2 things. System design, postulation of a principle. That's it. I stick to that. I'll be really as good as anybody else because I know I'm good at that. That's good enough. And I don't want to get into other things I'm not good at. And don't follow the crowd. You have to know this yourself. And finally, play your game for 3 years. Even if you have gotten into a marquee, 20 lakhs is nothing. You can go way beyond because you're blessed with so much of brains. You got to have a 3-year plan. Beyond that, it's a little difficult. This will challenge. Okay, all of you, please do this. Next. Next, we are through with what we have to do. So I have a lot of other content I will share, but I cannot do that today. But I'm happy to at least end. Maybe in the whole 2 hours I've spent, I'm fasting and I still wanted to spend. Please know your DNA. Only one takeaway. Are you high code, low code, no code? Believe in yourself. Build a proper application. Don't go and beg for jobs. You got to build an application. Okay, if you can do so much, that's good enough. And please be in continuous touch with your management. Don't stay disconnected. You should keep telling what you're looking at. And I want 800 people to query and find companies. JSS should have 1,000 companies coming in. For that, all of you have to play the role. Okay? So thanks a lot. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, sir, for such an insightful and enriching session. We now invite Dr. Amit Kumar Ahuja to deliver the concluding remarks. Please give a huge round of applause for sir.
Hello. Thank you, madam. Honorable Professor, all the dignitaries on the dais, my colleagues, organizing team, students. Good afternoon to all of you. For the past yesterday evening, I was given an opportunity to be with sir from the airport and to take him from the place where he was staying to this place. And I was fortunate enough to have a lot of interaction with sir and was able to find what actually his vision is. And I was surprised that the things that he has shared, many of us are missing in one way or other. So one of the important things that I could conclude from the talk today and my interaction yesterday till now is innovation. Innovation is not just completing some activities of Institutions Innovation Council or just to participate in some competitive events. Innovation is a path or mission, a way forward to get a good CTC placements. How is it possible? In the orientation session of IIC, repeatedly we were discussing all these things. But today, an industry person of more than 30 years has validated this thing. Yeah, thank you to you, sir, that you have given an important insight how innovation is very important. So innovation is not just having an idea. It is to convert that idea to POC, proof of concept, get a prototype, validate at TRL 5 or above that, do a pilot study, showcase it to the VCs, to the companies, do a market research and see can it be sold off or no. If it fails, very fine. Because in entrepreneurship, it is said that fail fast. Don't wait too much. Fail fast, iterate and make it better. So once we fail and we have learned a lot of things. It is not a failure. What is the objective of, as mentioned in the first slide, what is the objective of entering in an institute? The first primary objective is to get the placement or to settle ourselves in some entrepreneurship activity or venture, start a venture. So once that particular startup is attempted and failed, then lot of skills are learned, and there had been lot of instances that failed startup team, when they are encountering the HR or technical team in a placement, they are very, very confident. So actually it is not a failure. Actually it is a win-win situation. If startups wins, it is very good. Within the 4 year, you are coming up with your own startup. And if doesn't come out, then still we have lot of opportunity, we have lot of confidence. We can talk with eye to eye with the placement team, with the company who are coming for the placement. That is very important. So apart from this, this is the biggest takeaway that I could foresee. Another thing is that we should have a roadmap. Roadmap from the first year, of course. Now it is not a time that placement should start, placement preparation should start from third year or final year. From first year itself, we should know where I want to be after 4 years. And corresponding skill has to be gathered and ATS has to be applied. Apart from that, I must understand as a student that what are the different requirement of the industry, what they actually want. Not only they want you to know how to use OpenAI or other softwares, they also know you to be good in fundamentals. These software may change over a period of time, but fundamental will remain same. They will not change. So we have to be attentive. We are in the class for more than 5 hours or 6 hours, and these hours are active hours. So if we are attentive in the class, looking at the fundamentals, earning the required skills of the industry, nobody can, the amount of confidence that we can get, I don't think that nobody can say you are not eligible. First part we have to comply. First part is getting good CGPA so that level 0, as mentioned by sir, is cleared. That is, minimum CGPA must be cleared. This is not only necessary, but it is a must requirement to enter into the stage 2. Sir mentioned the modern communication skills. For example, system design architecture, operating system requirement and all that. AI, the role of AI, and more importantly, know your DNA. Where I want to be, what skill, in what skill I am good at. So this is very important for us. And to summarize this, we all, I'm very thankful to Subramaniam Sivakumar sir for giving this insightful lecture, mentioning all the requirement a student must have, do and don'ts, what the companies are expecting, and have a vision or roadmap. So thank you very much. And I request madam for the concluding thanks remark. Yeah, thank you.
As we conclude today's program, we invite our esteemed Registrar, Dr. T.G. Mamta, to deliver the vote of thanks. Over to you, ma'am.
A very good afternoon to one and all. At the very outset, I seek the divine blessings of His Holiness Jagadguru Sri Shivratri Deshikendra Mahaswamiji. Respected Pro-Chancellor, Deans, Heads of the Departments, faculty members, and distinguished speaker, and my dear students. It's my proud privilege to propose a vote of thanks on this meaningful occasion of our Campus to Career Episode 1. First and foremost, I extend my sincere and heartfelt gratitude to our beloved Pro Chancellor, Dr. B. Suresh Sir, a true beacon of light, for his constant guidance, unwavering support, and an inspiring leadership. Sir, it's your encouragement and the vision continue to motivate us towards the excellence and help us to create meaningful opportunities for the holistic development of our students. I extend my heartfelt thanks to our expert Subramaniam Shivakumaran for taking his time to be with us for sharing a valuable insights from the world of industry. Your experiences, practical perspectives, and the guidance have given our students a clearer understanding of what is the professional world expects from our students. As we often say, that education gives us knowledge, but exposure gives us the direction. Today's interaction has beautifully bridged the gap between the classroom and the workplace. I'm sure our students have understood that career success is not determined academic knowledge alone, but communication, adaptability, critical thinking, continuous learning are equally important. I would also like to thank our Vice Chancellor, deans, faculty members, and our advisor and the special officer and the whole placement team and the coordinators of this program, Dr. Arun Kumar ji and Dr. Amit Ahuja, all those who have worked behind the scenes to make this program memorable. Most importantly, I thank our students for their enthusiastic participation. I encourage each one of you to take the learning from today's session, convert them into action, and prepare yourselves to become confident industry-ready professionals. Let us remember, your campus is the beginning of your journey. Your skills, attitude, and determination will find how are you going to travel. Thank you. Thank you, one and all. I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We thank everyone for being a part of this program.
We hope today's session inspires all of us to embrace continuous learning and confidently prepare for the future. Thank you and have a wonderful day ahead.